Let's see if it'll yeet me again. That was the quickest live I've ever done. 1 second I was here, the next I was gone. I'm going to give it a minute and make sure that it's going to let me continue to stream because I don't even know what happened. StreamYard just said, nope, and ended it. It started it and ended it. So I don't know what's going on, but we'll see, I guess. We will see if it works. I'm not really sure what's happening here. Me and this StreamYard stuff don't get along sometimes. All right, I'm going to play my intro and then we're going to get going. Okay, looks like we're good to go this time. That was so weird, Music City Mom. I've never had that happen before. I clicked the go live, and then next thing I know, I'm like, what just happened here? Hey, Thor. Hey, Spooky Plus. Hey, Stephanie. A One-Way Street. Penny for Your Thoughts. Tia, Catherine, Julie, Nicole, Mom of Gladiator, Rondi, Julie A, Whispers, Angel, Nursykins, Jolene 420, Justice Equalizer. I know, it was really strange. Schooly Mom, Penny. Yeah, probably you can count it as the second. Nursey, I will find it in just a second. Hey, Janice. Hey, Meg. Shop. KM, Lanky, Lurker. Raising Grace, Meg. Vibrator, Curvy Barbie, Mal, Linda Lane. How's your guys' day been so far? Dazed and Confused, Kathy. I feel like I haven't seen you guys at all recently, but I've been on this app a little bit, but I guess it's different when it's not my own streams. Hey, Jennifer. It's me, Tiffany, Tracy, Tia, Sheila. Daddy's baby girl, Chopper. We'll see. We'll see if we are fixed. Pegasus, are you nuts? Potentially. Carrie, we're going to talk a little bit about some of it. I'm not ready to go into the full timeline right now, but I am going to talk a little bit about that. Hey, Mickey, Carrie, TK, Zoya, mother of two boys, Josh, X, Devin, Chapped. Let's see, Mystic Butterfly, Carla, Devious, Diana, Eeyore. Sorry, I'm trying to read all these. Miss Leah, Chico, J-Dub, Donna, Lucky Lady. Hey, Lynn. Hey, MK, Crazy Grandma, Terry, Lucia, Heather. Sorry, I'm trying to do a little bit better of reading your comments. You're hiding in the bushes. Just make sure you're not on the shitty bitty booty bitches side, because there's a lot of shitty booty bitches that hang out over here because they can't stand me. I make them really insecure, make them feel that I'm holier than thou, but they can't stop watching either. Just make sure you stay out of that side, because there's a lot of those people around here that Can't stand me, but can't stop watching me either. I mean, hey, it is what it is, right? Snowflake's Nightmare, Nana Tiddler, and I don't care. Watch away. I watch people I don't like all the time. Sunshine. Hello, Evie. Some people just crack me up. Brianna, forever. And I love going into other people's chats and on other people's panels because, man, people get bold talking their shit. It always cracks me up. Hey, Am, Peanut Shell, Miss Arnold's, Not That Amber, Kim, Cherokee Girl, the Deflectionist. All right, let's get going. Hey, Sherry, Canis, Banana Pug. You often watch on your TV. I never watch on my TV, really. Hey, Muffin Mouse, good to see you. Shitty booty bitches. You know, Chico, they're all around. Hey, Wendy. Oh, Carrie, that's really sweet. Thank you. Flies on the coleslaw. Stop background lighting. Snowflake's Nightmare. Yeah, but that's not what I'm talking about. That's totally not what I'm talking about at all. If you're not really understanding what I'm saying, I address it pretty straight out all the time about the people that have this insecurity about something I say. You've always enjoyed me even when you're replying to Devious. Hey, Marcy. There's certain people I just get along with. You know what? I am definitely not the baddest in these streets. And that's one thing that I will always stand very firm on. I'm as broken as the rest of you. That's why I fucking laugh so hard. Because I'm going to go off a little bit because I'm just fucking fed up. My give a fuck is totally broken on these streets. So let me make sure I got through everybody. Hey, Lauren. Scorpions, that's what them. Hey, Aaron. Casual Art. Penny, Miss Fletcher. All right. I can get along with pretty much anybody, except stupid bitches. Like, truly, if you're stupid, just say that. Like, if you're just a dumb bitch or an ignorant fuck, just say that. Just say that shit. Stop trying to make it about the rest of us. You got insecurities and can't help the fact that some of us don't do the stupid shit like you do. So y'all have these assumptions of us because we don't do the fucking drama bullshit. Hello, Amethyst over there. She has held me by the back of the shirt and kept me out of those places for a long fucking time. Okay. I don't do this stupid shit in the background. That's why you guys all get pissed because it never happens. Nonsense doesn't get exposed for fuck shit because I'm not doing it. I don't do it. I'm not a stupid asshole that likes to fuck with people just to fuck with people. And I'm really sick and tired of all of these people that are so thin-skinned. I review people because of their bullshit that they put out here and do in these cases, calling themselves true crime creators. No, you're not. You're nothing but fucking drama. First of all, most of you are fucking drama. Brittany J. Let me tell you again. You ain't true crime, little girl. And I am the wrong motherfucker to continue to push and try to play your little back and forth. He said, she said, what about this said? Never going to work. Because I will continue to take you back to the bullshit that you do to these victims and their families. Quit trying to spin shit. Quit trying to cause intentional chaos like you did last night. What you did last night was you took the opportunity of somebody getting exposed. Yay, you brought attention to the fact that she used a slur that is said in your household. And the only reason why you brought it to attention wasn't because you disagree with it, because you've been a sub of hers way longer than I even knew she existed. How about that? How about the fact that you knew all these people? Because it sounds to me like you kind of align with that thinking. Sounds to me like you know a lot of those groups of people. We're not the same. You called it out and pointed it out because I was confronting you on your words. You did a whataboutism. Look over there, not over here. I don't hate you. I just have no use for you. Pretty simple. You don't bring nothing to the table. And yeah, I'm that bitch today. I'm going to say it. I don't want you sitting at a table that I'm even in the same cafeteria of, because your ignorance hurts people. Because what you did last night was you patted yourself on the back. Oh, I knew she was bad. Ma'am, you subbed to her for how fucking long now and rode that ass? Man, you were pissed because you thought her and I had something going on and you got moved out of the way. Wrong to assume there again. But you knew all about this shit because you've been following her all along through the Idaho 4 case. Again, if you had a problem with these things, you would have brought it out way before, because you were all up in there promoting her, proud to stand with that exploitation. That's a you issue again. And to all these subs going back and forth and trying to stir shit up, Clue, she's been following Clue for the longest time. She finally admitted it last night. I'm sorry. I'm done with the little games out here. And so many of you are maneuvering because of your hate of other creators, not because you stand firmly where you fucking stand. Let's get that straight. A lot of you are only maneuvering and speaking out because you don't like creators that you thought were attached XYZ. That's why you're speaking out, not because you really stand there, because if you stood there all along, you would have spoke out on all of the different situations that many of us have. You fire up your channels to try and confront us, right? Why don't you stand there at all times? Oh no, it's because you don't like that creator and you think that creator. And if I get one more motherfucker in my comment section that tells me, why don't you call out Granny? Motherfuckers, fire up your goddamn channels and call her out yourself. Call her out yourself. I'm not in the business of digging 3 years back into finding out what Granny's watching said on a Wednesday. We have racism in this community currently amongst us in this chat. And by the way, if you are a casual racist, bigot, homophobe, transphobe, see your way off the island. I haven't lost enough of you yet. And I know there's still some of you here. So drop those numbers down, because I don't want you here. You're not welcome here. I will never provide a safe space for anybody that thinks that this type of behavior is okay. Did you hear me the first time? I am absolutely on my high horse. Absolutely behind my pulpit. You're absolutely right, Bittersweet Truth. You're damn right. You're damn fucking right I am, because I'm not a shitty human being that has those words in my vocabulary. So if that makes me better than you, that's a you problem. If I'm smarter than you, that's a you problem, because you guys make it really easy to look real fucking smart out here, which I'm not. I'm as flawed as the fucking rest of you. I'm as broken as the rest of you. But I will never provide a safe space for you people. You're not welcome here. Understood? I'm sorry to my subs that I ever made you even think for a moment that you would be welcome in this part. This is why we have our own community, because I don't fuck with people like this. I don't fuck with creators like this. I don't get close with creators like that, because it keeps me out of fuck shit, because my morals and values will never, ever be diminished because I like a creator. I'm sorry. I would rather have a bunch of you fucking weird strangers on the internet talking shit about me than me selling out my morals and values because I'm loyal to a fucking stranger on the internet. Some of you have morals and values depending on what your favorite creator has morals and values. Are y'all okay? By the way, I don't really like high horses either. I prefer donkeys or miniature horses. So there's that. I'm too short to have to climb a ladder to get on a fucking horse. So it's not very high. You know, the bar, I don't even set the bar very high for you guys to be decent human beings. That's really sad if I'm on a high horse or on a pedestal or think I'm better than all of you, because that bar is real fucking low. Some of you should actually be able to just step over that bar, and you still can't. You still get hung up hitting your head on that bar. Again, I'm not responsible for your insecurities. Philip, I actually didn't vote for Biden. But right now, I don't want to vote for either one of them. Thank you for asking. I think there should be an age cap. They're both an embarrassment. We're doomed. Okay, cool. I also am not going to vote for somebody that is civilly liable for sexually assaulting somebody. Did you hear me? I stand against sexual assault and cover ups of sexual assault and government corruption. And I will never be okay voting for somebody who would have been convicted in a criminal court. But unfortunately, it's only civilly liable at this point in time. But I mean, you can ask me. I don't have any shame in my game about where I stand. I've stood here all along. Sorry if it offends some of you. No, I'm not. No, fucking not. Nope. I'm not. And I don't give a fuck who you vote for. Truly. Don't care. We got some pet donkeys in here. Oh, snowflakes. Oh, yeah. This is why you were blocked over here the first time, honestly, because you say the most wild shit that has no foundation or source. I've been watching you for a hot minute, and it is just what it is. So you don't have to agree with what I feel. It's my channel, right? You can say whatever you want, but I also don't have to put up with it. That's the thing. I'm at the boundary position here. Some of y'all just acting out and picking sides out here because your favorite creator is telling you where to feel and how to move and what to do. The fuck? You know what's also interesting? I want to ask you creators in the chat, how many of you had to ask your mods or check with your mods before you went live and address this? How many of you had to check in and make sure your mods were okay with keeping their wrenches before you addressed overt racism? Any of you? Because I know a few that had to make sure that their mods were okay. My mods didn't know a damn thing about what I was going to do. They didn't have a fucking clue what I was about to say. You know why? Because I don't give a shit. And they stand firmly with the right is right and wrong is wrong. I don't have to check with them because they all are adults and abso-fucking-lutely are entitled to feel how they want. I didn't have to check in with them because they're adults who are entitled to behave the way they are. I know, Rodney. I know the one. It is. We're lucky I have any of them on today, Rodney, to be honest, because it's 117 degrees here. So we're lucky my whole entire face hasn't melted. You know, that's a problem. So watch for this one. It's starting to sway out. You might be able to get some good fucking screenshots if you try hard enough. You fucking people are weird. True crime comedy chat. I got a question since you've known who this person is for years. How do I say this? I don't give a shit about my eyebrows. It's because I go at everybody else about their eyebrows. That's why I laugh. The aggressive thing. I heard the reply video and it's, she's an aggressive human. She's an aggressive human. What does that mean? True crime comedy chat. Have you figured that out yet? Melissa Jade, okay, girl, when I asked you guys about WSU Kim that was in my chat that day, I was like, how did this happen? How did this person end up in my chat? Now, if you also go back to my calendar, look what's marked in red, y'all. Some of y'all, I can say things right out front, and some of you all just can't get it. But anyways, that's what I have to say about that. I fuck with my Islanders. I never have to gauge my mods or worry about my mods. They're adults. They do as they wish. They show up when they want. I don't control them. I don't control anybody else. If I wanted to be controlled on this fucking app, I'd come with a goddamn remote. None of you have a remote. None of you have a mute button. Unfortunately, the same goes for you. But here's the difference. I am bold enough to say it behind a screen with my full face. Some of you chicken shits hide behind alts in the comment section and say the stupidest shit with no source or foundation of any of this shit. And then you go from chat to chat, stirring shit up. You know, trying to point fingers here, there, everywhere, trying to rile people up. Like, what a fucking boring life you have in order to do all that. Really, truly, what a fucking boring life. But Melissa Jade, okay. Think about this, Melissa Jade. That account that was in here. So I've been kind of paying attention. This is aggressive. Orion. I'm so aggressive. What did that person say, Revival? Hold on. I want to see these people. What's aggressive mean? Laura, I am taking it easy. I don't know she's been around that long either. That's why I'm interested to hear that, because I have not heard anybody say that. Yeah, pineapple, the pressure, I was really pissed. I was really pissed. Yeah, Lynn, that's an interesting name, but I agree with you on that. Oh, Justice, I'm happy you're here. You seem angry and aggressive. Just what I have there. Angry and aggressive. Motherfucker. I see me angry and aggressive. Oh my God. Y'all are some thin skinned. I'm angry and aggressive because I'm done with the bullshit that I've been caught up in for 2 years. Nah. If I'm angry and aggressive, fire up a channel and call me out. You'll be the next Veda Jade. I've been exposing her 42 times now, except I haven't exposed anything but my own ass. Okay, cool. Carry on. I know, Mrs. Arnold, I am cranky today. Hey, chasing. I don't want to be a pot stirrer, but oh my God. Melissa Jade. Okay, so back to that account that doxed her in Savages. That account has been around. Okay, so I will leave by, it's not JFK. No need to announce your departure. None. No need. Sorry, guys, I'm fed up. If you are an Islander through and through, if you're new here, please disregard because it's not directed to you. But I'm fed up with the shit. It's the same bullshit from the same creators, the same subs. It has been for almost 2 years on this app. It's the same. Aren't you going to do something? Aren't you going to say something? Well, they don't even fucking do nothing with their channels, but they call out the rest of us that don't say what they expect. Like, Pika says, so that account, I got questions about that whole doc situation. And I asked the other day in a chat, when she introduced herself to JLR, did JLR know her name? And I got ignored. So I find it interesting that account that doxed her in Savage's chat, if I'm correct. I know I'm an angry, aggressive bitch. It's so fucking funny. It's so funny to me, though, that people really worry about that. But that account, I guess it happened in Savage's chat, but that account had been in here previously fucking with Melissa Jade. And it wasn't long after WSU Mom Kim had been addressed in my comment section that account rolls in, not saying that they're connected, but I find it funny because it's definitely somebody from the Idaho 4, and she covered that case of Idaho 4, and then they just happened to drop her whole entire address. And then when it's addressed that she was doxxed by said person, well, she had been doxxed before, but then it goes back to this whole story around there was an account that was coming into her chat about a month before that was dropping her address, and her fiance went and looked up the person's information, and somehow that person that was dropping her address and said chat was 9 miles from the kid that's getting extradited back to Hendersonville for the sex crimes. But then she slipped up and she said, well, it was just a random account. Well, is it a random account that was doxing you and you tracked it down? How did you track a random account down on YouTube? How did you know that that's the real person's name? I got questions about this dox all to begin with, because to me, it seems like, to me, you know, this blonde bimbo over here, this passive aggressive, angry little fucking monster demon child, as I call myself, seems to think that it's pretty fucking funny that all of this stuff happened, all of these threats happened. That had been happening since May. I went over the emails that we're getting back in May, and not from the anti side either, from the Terry Lynn side of things. But then I find it really ironic that all of these twists and turns about how this 19-year-old in this article got mixed into this case, and then next thing you know, Uncle Taco's back out and Seth are doing these things, and then all this stuff happens with Julia. Things aren't making sense here, people. And I'm sorry, but I don't know how you're tracking people off of a random YouTube name to a person 9 miles away from the kid that got extra. I got questions, a lot of them. And then the same account that was in here messing with Melissa Jade goes into a chat. Something's not making sense here, people. Something's not adding up. And why are people buying views? So I got a question. Is it to, and that's just a once over. That's not an in-depth track of all the chaos that's going on. That's just a few of the off the top head thoughts. Why are people buying views on videos? Because Cluminati, and I'm going to address it fully, she's got a video that she did on Betty. And I was curious at first. Somebody came to me and showed me and said, is Betty or somebody buying views to attempt to sabotage Clue? I don't know shit about that. I've been trying to figure out about buying views, how that all works, all this shit. Well, on a video of Betty's, she got like 33,000 views. But in the first couple hours of the video, she had 25,000 views. 25,000 views on video of Betty. That's higher than any of the views she's even had on any that Chris, Katie, any of those have came on. 31,000 views. Excuse me. This is the one. 1.1K likes. Is Betty trying to do that? And if you go through and look, and people have been looking and trying to figure out why the hell, Burnt Toast covers Betty extensively and very thorough, and is one of the top creators that covers Betty, hands down. That's indisputable. Her videos don't hit that. And that wasn't any big anything. So is it somebody trying to sabotage her channel or self-sabotage? Look over here. I got questions. Things are. And why did Betty call her a friend? And she said, we were never friends. We never friends. I just got some questions. It was a YouTube glitch. That was just the other day. Snowflakes. That's what I'm wondering is, can that even happen? Because some people think that Betty's trying to do it to, I don't know how you buy views. I don't know. Bree, thank you so much. I appreciate that so much. Go back to the calendar. Let's look at that. Let's look at that. Because some of you don't understand me, and it's my own fault because some of you are new to me and I didn't walk you through how things work with me, or that I say a lot of things that you just have to pay attention to. But let me show you this. So she was on here when I did this. And by the way, I heard somebody giving credit to her for doing this whole thing. No, that's not That's not even close, which is fine. I mean, again, sharing is caring. She absolutely did help me with this, but this was my idea because I saw things that weren't adding up. So let me go over here. Let me show you this. There's a reason why things are marked in red on this calendar, by the way. There is a reason. Right here. All of this, can you guys see that on your screens? For those of you that are in my members group, you have access to this. Notice the red. This is all to do with Seth. This is all Seth's team. Seth, parents return to Texas. Clue and Cletus meet Seth. Red, Seth interview. JLR. News Nation. The Lab. JLR. Seth. All of these. And the reason I mention that is because people are also trying to somehow completely mask this whole idea that JLR is still not involved. And that somehow Tony is responsible. Tony didn't even come into this until April. Yeah, there flies on the coleslaw. If you look at it, Aaron, you should have access to it in the members group so you can enlarge it and save it and everything too. But if you look at all of the red movements, there's two factors: JLR people that are connected to JLR or Seth Rogers. Tony, May, can I go to May? Yeah. Members, you guys have access to these. You don't have access to June yet because I'm still working on something. But yeah, hold on. There you go. There you go. You want me to make it bigger like that? Is that what you guys wanted? And some of these notes, you can send it to me. You can send me your questions and ask me. These are all, look at the red. Look at the red here. Oh, Justice Equalizer. I don't think she'll do anything with that. Truly, I genuinely do not think she will do anything with people's addresses. I would hope not. I'm not going to take away the good things that she did. Helping with the billboards was a great thing to do. I don't know the status of any of that. I've never followed up. I donated it to them, and that was it on that part. So it's different for me, but I have no knowledge that anything nefarious will happen with the addresses. I really would hope not, because that's just going to put her in a legal position with a bunch of random strangers that it's not worth her time to mess with, in my opinion. But yeah, I mean, people, yeah. Okay, so there's February. So let me go down here. March. Look at the red, guys. April. May. Things aren't making sense here. Now, I don't know about the buying views stuff. That's why I'm asking. Like, I'm not really sure. Thank you for becoming a member, Tomboy Charm. I'm not really sure on the buying of views. Yeah, Rondi, the problem with that is people are not going to feel comfortable donating over there. There's a lot of people that didn't feel comfortable donating there to begin with and wouldn't donate there because of it. That has been something that's been going on. In fact, there's been other people that have been asked to start their own and kind of do all of that. Red versus purple. Oh, I guess I didn't post that, did I? So Chris and Katie are in this purplish color here. This teal color is all to do with Nina, but all of these are something to do with Chris. The purplish blue, the teal color is Nina. The green is the vigils and like events, public events. Vigil. But these are to do with like this one here. Katie goes on patrol. CP warns CJ. News Nation, They might look like the same blue on your guys' side too. I can't tell. They might look like the same. Tomboy Charm, it is in my members group. Scroll down on the post. It's in there. I don't know if somebody is intentionally trying to buy views to inflate a channel. I don't know how any of that works, but people were bringing it to my attention saying, how is this? I don't fucking know. I don't know how any of that works. Scooter, you don't have to thank me. Thank you guys. You guys are the ones that pay attention to a lot of this shit. When I say I don't watch a lot of these channels, I don't watch. I don't know. Or I move in silence. When things happen, I go the other direction. It is what it is. I don't understand how that works, any of it. I don't know if there would be a purpose to somebody buying views. I don't know if it was to say that Betty was inflating views on channel. I'm not sure. I'm really not sure on that. I don't know how that works, but people are really paying attention. Like there is something weird about this. Now, again, Betty and JLR are not together right now. They don't get along, but they have the same pattern. Who do you think taught Betty everything she knows? JLR. Who do you think she got the playbook from? JLR. Who was Seth reaching out to get on the ground in this story? JLR. Is that what it does, Chasing? Can other people buy views for your channel? Like, could somebody else purposely, I Googled this shit and none of it made sense. Kelly, right. I did learn that in my Googling, but I don't understand the purpose of it. Okay, so anybody can. So it could be, okay. Okay, so basically we have no idea. All right, great. That's what I kind of figured. But why that video? Why that video? Of all the videos, why that video? I don't know. Okay, let's go on. I got a lot to say. Okay, so there's the calendar. You guys will have June available soon too, for those of that want it and are paying attention. Go back and look at those red things on that calendar. I'm adding some more too that I've been tracking. But for now, we're going to go here. We are going to watch this. Now, this is from the other night. A lot of you have already seen it. Please understand. Yeah, Chasing, and they are like the algorithm seems to be very well, the analytics seem very low, like the engagement, I guess, with that type of I don't know, it just seems very off to me. No, Melissa Jade, I've never received one. They might be in my spam though too. I've never received one. Emily, they're in the members group. You guys have access to them. They're just scrolled down. I'll repost them today when I'm off again too. Amber, thank you for becoming a member. I've heard that. So they used to talk about that with the Molly situation, but it's just something that never, like, I've never seen it happen in active time. But things are not adding up here. And when I say things are not adding up, I am not in any way, shape, or form at this point in time speaking or saying that Clue, Chris, Katie, Seth, any of them knew each other, had anything to do with anything in this Sebastian case. Please understand that. That is not what I'm saying. Do I find it to be odd that Julia and her were in a similar chat together 4 days before he went missing? Yes. Was there a lot of engagement? No. Between the two of them. Is it weird? Absolutely. Especially in that chat of a creator that thankfully has never popped in my algorithm whatsoever. Like, it's just, there's a lot of weird things, but I definitely do not think that there was some pre-planned thing before Sebastian went missing. So please do not misinterpret anything I'm saying here whatsoever. That is not what I'm trying to say. I do find it odd that I have seen comments that it potentially was somebody else out there with night vision goggles on. I would love to see proof if that is true. If you know, you know. I don't know. There's been a lot of flip-flopping. That's what it is. But we're going to get into this. So we're going to do these kind of out of order. We're going to go into Seth's interview. I have not watched the full thing. I also want to make a note here. I have seen a lot of people say that they think it's wrong for Seth to have a channel. Well, I disagree, because we would be hypocritical to say that David Robinson couldn't have a channel for his son, Daniel. So there's that. You can't even remotely compare the two men. Absolutely not. David has never done anything remotely like this. But I think that parents with missing loved ones, I don't think on a full wide scale that it's just horrifying. Like, I don't think that it's terrible. I think it can be used well. I also think it can be misused. I think it can be weird like this. But I do not think that it's any different than some of the other families that have YouTube channels for their missing kids. Does that make sense? I hope we're clear on that. Now, I'm also, if you aren't, Sammy, what the fuck? Who the fuck said I don't ever do drama? First of all, who said I don't do drama? The fuck? Who said that? Who told you? Who told you I don't do drama? Because they lied to you. I can do drama. I'm just not good at it. Oh, I can create drama if I wanted to. I could really tell you guys some shit. But again, when you deal with a bunch of shady characters, there's going to be drama because people spin. I don't do crime either. I do what I want. Yeah, pineapple, absolutely. Agree. So we're going to watch this. Please keep an open mind. We're going to go through. No, there's drama mixed into. We're going to go through and try to give a little bit of grace with this, because yes, I do know that he supposedly has surgery right before this. So there's that. Let me just get going. Let's just play it. Okay, first and foremost, I thought he was wearing a habit. If you know what that is, I didn't even at first see this whole bandage here. If you're Catholic, you get it. I wasn't sure what he was wearing. Then I was like, oh, it's a bandage. Okay. This falls under fair use. This is commentary. We will be stopping and pausing as we go and discussing. All right.
We good?
That's exactly what I thought it was a priest caller. Yep.
I'm good. I'm just listening to the Mission Impossible thing.
So hello, everybody. Hope everybody's doing well this evening. We'd like to welcome you guys to the inaugural live of Seth Rogers on his own channel. Seth is the father of 15-year-old Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers, the young man who went missing from Hendersonville, Tennessee on February 26th. So Seth...
why the fuck is Truck Stop Tony giving the intro? Why is Truck Stop Tony giving the intro? And again, please, you guys, let's be logical. Tony was not involved in the beginning and foundations of this case. Seth reached out to JLR, had JLR come. Seth was also on the ground with people such as Terry Lynn, Cletus and Clue in the first initial days doing the searches. Again, I'm not throwing shade. I'm just stating facts. These were people associated with Seth and JLR. Tony wasn't in the picture in the beginning. And people continue to overlook and be like, Tony, it's Tony. No, a lot of this isn't Tony. He's fucking weird. I'll get you that. And ever since he's been involved, there's been some weird shit. But there's been a lot of distractions intentionally laid around Tony when Tony's not the worst actor in all of this.
Good evening, first off, sir. And tell us about your channel. Tell us what the purpose is and how this came to be.
Oh,
well, I decided I was going to set up this channel because watching a lot of other people's channels about my son People have a tendency of have gravy of the mouth, and they're not
Gravy of the mouth? What the fuck is gravy of the mouth? What is gravy? Oh, Lord. Oh.
not paying attention to what's coming out of their mouth. It needs to be about my son. Everybody wants to throw their 2 cents in when it's not even worth a penny. And it's just false narratives out there, false information. I figured what better than to take that away from them and put it back in control of Sebastian's family.
Well, and
Put it back in control of Sebastian's family. Seth, you have made a big deal out of having control over this from jump. I was just looking at that, Janice. Uh-huh. Okay. That's what I was, yeah, I gotcha. It's always been a control thing for him. There's never been a time when it wasn't about control. He's always wanted control of telling the story. That's why he released so many things.
nobody knows the young man better than his father, correct?
Well, he knows himself better than I do, but I'm going to try to be a second close.
Perfect. So let me ask you this, big dog. I mean, the questions that we're getting rolling in by the dozens have to do with your surgery, your recovery. Talk to us a little bit about your surgery. How did that go? How you feeling? What was the experience like? That kind of thing.
Well, this hand is definitely working again. No pain. I'm great. It was like instantaneous when I was done with the surgery. I had no more pain going down into my right arm. So I'm happy about that. I haven't had to take anything except for ibuprofen and a little bit of Aleve since the surgery. So I'm good on that end. I'm tired of having to regulate medicines like my doctor was wanting me to. I'd rather not take them. Rather have my multivitamin, my fish oil, my B12, my normal stuff that I take every day.
Because you're against pharmaceuticals, which everybody's allowed to do that. Everybody's allowed. Yeah, April, I'm getting that. Steph, I was wondering that too, but I'm trying not to go there because the last interview we saw definitely had all of those undertones. I find it really funny that Uncle Taco gets brought back out, goes on a few channels. They needed money to pay power bills in the beginning of June. No shade, just what it was. His wife was posting about it. Then, it was all like these intentional distractions, getting Seth's name back in the algorithm. And then here a week later, he does his own show. I find it to be really odd. But I think a lot of these are intentional movements to get their focus back on it. If you're familiar with improv comedy, this whole situation is like a big game of yes. And for all the players inserting themselves, Nora, it's a huge shit show. There is nothing other that can be said.
So tell us about that experience of waking up on the table. We talked about that a little bit.
My throat still hurts. I woke up and I had tubes and stuff shoved down my throat. I was trying to rip them out. I actually got bruises where, they had 3 people on one side of me trying to hold me down when I came out. It was not pleasant. But as soon as they got stuff pulled out of, the tubes and stuff ripped out of my throat, as soon as I was able to start breathing on my own again, I was able to calm down. I was aggravated, that's for sure. But, after that, it was just getting me back to the recovery room, then making sure my dressing was good, making sure that I could get up and walk around, stuff like that. Within 30 minutes, I was sitting there chomping at the bit trying to get out of the hospital. And they were like, no, you got to stay here for 3 hours.
So it's a same day procedure. So he goes in the morning. It goes in through the front into the back. He woke up during anesthesia. Pretty typical to wake up out of anesthesia, panicked or aggressive. That's nothing.
I'm sure you were quite the minding patient, right?
I was an angel, thank you.
So tell your audience here, your supporters, what types of things were you not able to do when you were dealing with this?
Yeah, y'all. I again, you got to kind of pick through. You are as bad as these tragedy pimps you claim to call out. First of all, I don't like the word tragedy pimps. You are one. This man has a missing son. Get the fuck off of him. Mega M. He's not the only one with a missing child. In fact, the missing child's mother's name is Katie Proudfoot, and the missing child's stepfather, his name's Chris Proudfoot. So although you think that Seth created Sebastian on his own, and he's the only one entitled to talk about anything to do with Sebastian being missing, Sebastian's still missing, and we're going to continue to talk about it. And if you have a problem with it, get the fuck out. Okay, goodbye. Have a good day.
This shoulder pain. I mean, I have an idea. I know what's at the top of the list, but in addition to the obvious, searching for your son, I mean, what are the other things that you miss doing that you're going to be able to get back to doing now that you're out of pain?
Searching for his son, that ended in March, right?
Besides back to looking for my son, because I was under doctor's orders, I wasn't allowed to drive.
There's no deflection. It's straight up, I don't give a fuck what you think. Sebastian is still missing. And we're going to continue to talk about Sebastian and the chaos that has been brought into Sebastian's case, because Sebastian's still missing. So you can sit here and puff your chest all you want and cry for Seth over and over again. Seth isn't the only one that's losing something here, or that something's lost from. He's not the only person involved in this situation.
A lot of people don't realize that I was not allowed to drive. So every time I drove somewhere, I had to have somebody come pick me up. And it was not one of the, I don't like having to wait on people to do stuff. I've always been a person.
Wait. I thought he's been out searching.
To come pick me up.
Okay.
Besides back to looking for my son, because I was under doctor's orders, I wasn't allowed to drive.
How did we see you driving? When did that happen? When was he put under doctor's orders to not drive? Because we've seen him in his truck and driving. He was driving on the Crime Lines and Bullshittery channel when he came live with her. What? And how did Tony start that off by saying you were out there searching? And meanwhile, he's like, well, actually, I was under doctor's orders not to drive.
A lot of people don't realize that I was not allowed to drive. So every time I drove somewhere, I had to have somebody come pick me up.
So if you drove somewhere, you had to have a ride back. That doesn't quite make sense either, because if you drove yourself there, then why didn't you drive yourself back? So which is it?
And it was not one of the, I don't like having to wait on people to do stuff. I've always been a person that just relies on myself. So relying on other people is extremely hard for me. Can't wait till I can actually ride my motorcycle again. I mean, it's one thing to be in pain, and at the beginning it was okay, but like a 10-minute ride on my bike, every bump, anything that just jarred it, because I had nothing left in between my C5 and my C6 and my neck, except for the nerve. So every time I hit a bump, all it was doing was separating and squishing down on that last nerve.
Then you wouldn't have feeling in your fingertips, right? Wouldn't he have impingement in the fingertips for grip or anything? And how would you be able to handle the vibrator with the same hand? And why wouldn't you be in at least a C-spine collar?
And that's why you didn't ride your motorcycle at the vigil, correct?
Yep. I couldn't. I mean, that's an hour and 15 minutes, depending on traffic, just to get down there, plus then the ride back while we waited and everything, or else I would have been on my bike.
Yeah. Anything else? Anything else you missed doing? You went to the shooting range a lot, right?
I used to before all this happened. And yeah, no, shooting was not a task or activity that I could enjoy. So I'll be hitting the range again, making sure I'm still up to par.
Very nice. Very nice.
You know,
Well, I know.
going fishing, I couldn't go fishing. I couldn't do a lot of things. Like, I mean, even simple maintenance on.
Yes, Holly. According to what we have learned, he absolutely has a bike in his garage that he's had before Sebastian went missing.
Like washing my truck was not something that I could do. Cleaning my house was a pain in my hindquarters.
No, he has his own motorcycle that he's had.
There was just a lot of things I couldn't do.
Yeah. So Seth, I mean, obviously the big reason people are coming to your channel, other than to support you looking for your son, is,
Yes.
you know, these folks are hoping to see a little more about Sebastian. They want to learn about who Sebastian is. They want to see things from you, the father, that they can't see on any other channel. So I understand that you've got some pics, some video that you're going to share with the audience, and you're going to explain to them what these pictures mean to you and what the story behind the pictures is. Is that correct?
I've got some pictures that I'm willing to share currently. I mean, a lot of people don't. This is all I have left of my son until I can find him.
This is all I have left of my son until I can find him.
And bring him home. But I cherish all these pictures that I have taken. It was definitely a different life for most of these pictures, because these were pictures when he was younger. I've got some newborn pictures in here. I've got pictures of him still in the hospital, like less than 24 hours old. Like I try to take pictures of him all the time when he was younger. I try to take pictures. A lot of people don't know that the picture of him on the shirts, I took that picture the weekend that I had him last. And that was the last.
Hold the fuck up. Hold up. Pause. We got to go back a second here.
Him on the shirts. I took that picture the weekend that I had him last. And that was the last picture that I got to take of my son.
The weekend I had him last, which would have been the weekend before. So the 17th, let me tell you exactly the dates. So the last weekend he factually had him would have been the 16th, 17th, and 18th of February. Katie had him the 23rd, 24th, 25th. He went missing the 26th. So he's referencing that he took that photo the 16th, 17th, 18th in that window. He also had him the weekend of the 2nd through the 5th-ish. Interesting. Okay.
I got to take that one out to you.
Well, brother, I can tell you, you've got a massive army in here with you, supporting you tonight. We feel you. We're with you. We're shedding tears with you. We got your back. Let's light up the chat with those green hearts, and let's get to looking at these pictures. So
this is a script, absolutely a script. Tony has which I'm glad for. Again, no shade there. I'm glad that they have it more figured out, lined out what questions they were going to ask. You know, they went through all of this much better. It's better than hearing him say, you know, hold on, I'm almost finished. And then hearing him attempt to pretend like he's jacking off. I mean, much better.
We can get everybody refocused on what all this is about, which is finding your son.
Well, first and foremost, no, the focus is not going to get back on finding Seth's son, because Sebastian has more parents than just Seth.
It's about knowing Sebastian somewhat more than y'all do. I've seen some of the videos, like the Christmas videos that I showed. I haven't even let all of those. Phones back then didn't record like they do now. So, but
wow,
these are some of the pictures I have of him, and him in his crib with a little baby.
Take your time through these, Seth. Take your time, buddy.
Me and Katie picked out this whole bedroom set for him. It was It was great. I mean,
I'll give him credit. He actually said, me and Katie picked out this. Okay.
he was a bundle of joy. He wasn't even a year old at these times.
So what are we seeing up here at the top? Is that a tippy cup? Is that what that is?
Yeah, that was his car's sippy cup.
Okay.
You know, didn't have him on a bottle for long. When he was born, like first few months of his life was like literally a blur. Child literally hit the ground crawling because he didn't walk. But I mean, he was awake on average for 18 hours a day. I mean, when he slept, it was amazing when he slept. You know, 4 hours every once in a while here and there. Child just didn't stop. When he did stop, it was because he was asleep. He liked animals even then.
So for everybody that hasn't been quite as connected to the case, I mean, let's talk about that. His love for animals. I mean, his animal of choice was what?
Oh, his favorite? Cats.
Okay. Any specific type, color, just cats in general?
Cats.
We know this. Okay. Like, I'm not trying to throw shade. I think it's incredible that he's walking down memory lane a little bit. Anything about Sebastian to me is great to learn. So I'm trying to be very careful of not throwing shade at this. But there's a constant theme of Sebastian, but poor Seth. Sebastian, poor Seth. Sebastian, poor Seth. And it's just something that I can't overlook. And we always go back to this time and place where him and Katie were together. And I can't help but what about Sebastian today?
Just cats, all cats. I really wanted to I want to get him a Savannah. It's a pretty big cat, but
so now he wants to get him an expensive ass cat that needs special diet. Oh,
can also be a house cat. Me, I'm a fan of dogs. I don't mind cats. It just means an extra pill I have to take every day.
Oh, but Chris got shredded over his allergies and having to get rid of the cats before when Chris brought it up. And meanwhile, I'm going to mention once again that Seth got dogs for Sebastian when they were in California, he claimed, and had to get rid of them. So, I mean, unfortunately, it sounds like a lot of Sebastian's animals have been given away or rehomed throughout his life. And that's on all sides of it.
Depending on their dander supply. But he really likes cats. I haven't found an animal that he really doesn't like. I mean, he got bit in the face by a dog and had to have 7 stitches in his face, and he still wasn't scared of dogs. Wasn't scared of him at one bit. Wasn't even scared of the dog that bit him. He had no fear of animals. Kind of just understood. But his whole room was a lion, like jungle theme. So he had giraffes, turtles. He had a huge lion, gold with mane. He slept with that thing.
Oh my goodness, that picture is so freaking cute. Honestly, that's a very cute picture. I'm sure Bullhorn Betty is in the corner down there frantically texting her mods, telling them what to do, because I saw that every one of her mods is modded in that chat.
It's a little fuzzy, but he was always moving. You know, you can see the giraffe in the background.
Look at that smile.
Oh, he was up to no good. Definitely way before Harry Potter, and he was so up to no good. But long blonde hair, always, I mean,
Adorable. Adorable.
definitely a different time. We lived in South Georgia at this point in time. This is about the time that Uncle Taco's daughter would be watching Sebastian. Yeah, we had moved into Coleraine Oaks. He was already learning how to swim and everything else here.
I mean, it looks like the world was his at that point. You guys were just living in it. The toys all over the place. Just looked like he was living life, and everybody was getting him and buying him and providing him with everything he wanted.
Yeah, everything was his.
Absolutely.
Everything was his. I mean, I was his dad. Katie was his mom. Everywhere, everything was his.
Okay. Oh, Anita Fida.
He definitely had a good childhood. At least a very young, good childhood. Me and him used.
But that's not what you told us. Why wasn't this done before you released all of the horrendous details that the internet didn't need to know? And now you're telling us he had a great childhood. Why are we talking? I don't know. This is weird.
To sit there and we would dance around this whole place because right back here, that right there is like a divider wall between the kitchen, living room, and then on the other side was our dining room, our eat-in area, which was also extended part. But there was that divider wall, and you could walk around that whole thing. We'd sit there and play music and just dance around the whole house. I mean, the kid loved to dance.
So how old is he in this picture? How old was he when he started walking? You know, just to give the audience kind of a reference point.
He's 2 in this picture.
He's 2. Okay.
He started walking at about a year and a half.
Okay.
He was crawling at I want to say 4 months. He was crawling, less than 4 months.
Where's my mamas in here that have experts on child development? What's typical for a child to crawl? Or what's your experience? I guess tell me in the chat.
He knew he had done something. I can't remember what he had done, but he walked up and I just had to take a picture.
Boy, he looks ornery in the picture. I'm not going to lie.
He still is ornery, thank you. I mean, he gets that from me. I mean, what can I say?
There's not a surprise member in the audience after that comment.
Probably not. I mean, I gave him all his best qualities in life. Being stubborn, pig-headed, ornery, focused. Not, you know, I like to hope to think that his curiosity is something I've given him in life too.
Carla, thank you so much for the super sticker and thank you for being here. It seemed early to me too, but I don't know. I guess every child's different, so.
Because he definitely likes to learn. But it's got to be his way. He's got to learn his way.
Hold on. Did somebody in my chat just defend? Hold on. I'm going to read this comment again. Honestly, what he said that was private was coming from trauma. It was reactive and none of it bad. They are facts. They don't make the kid look bad. Honestly, mean girls and boys. Scarlett, kindly, respectfully, with all the disrespect intended, no, fuck out of here with that. Nope. Sebastian couldn't consent to his dad weaponizing his trauma. It's what he went through. Kids cannot consent. It's bullshit. It wasn't intended to be released publicly. It should have never. If he cared about his son, he doesn't have no excusing it. Nope. Sorry. Nope. We're not going to do that. We're not going to make excuses for him weaponizing Sebastian's trauma on the internet for fucking clicks and views. Sorry, not going to do it today. Not going to do it any day. That's bullshit. Straight up bullshit.
I was outside, still in Cold Rain Oaks. It's just that you see that smile, and I mean, how can you tell that face no? I mean, anything that he wanted, he got it.
You know, you can't read too much into a picture, but a picture is worth 1,000 words.
Scarlett, we're not bashing that. We're not bashing that. The trauma being weaponized, absolutely I'm bashing. Absolutely, because there's no place for it. But we're not bashing his memories here. I simply asked, what's your guys' experience?
Words, and he truly looks loved in that picture.
Here's something about that picture. If you look at his chin, you see the drool. All right, the kid drooled a lot. All right. And there's one thing that I noticed about him when he was younger is that most people, if they eat peanut butter, how it gets, no, I've watched this kid eat peanut butter and his drool is just like anti-peanut butter. Like when he was a kid, the peanut butter would just, I mean, I've got pictures of it somewhere too, but it would never, kid loves peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. And then, started getting him to drink coffee at a later age. And then I introduced him into toasted peanut butter and jelly sandwiches and coffee. It's a great breakfast. I mean, it's probably not the healthiest thing in the world, but it's better than just a cup of coffee. Man, this kid thought it was the cream of the crop when I toasted peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. It was my Aunt Sharon that literally taught me about toasted peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. And I learned those when I want to say 15 when she taught me about those. I mean, that was several decades ago, but we're not going there.
Yeah, Seth.
I don't know how early on he was diagnosed with ADHD, but some people do try coffee for ADHD. I don't really think there's a problem there. I don't know how old he was when that was happening or if he had that diagnosis yet, but I've heard a lot of people try coffee to combat ADHD. I have a friend that used to try and get a cup of coffee every day because it helps. And I was like, I wish that would work over here. It doesn't, but I'm not going to shade that because I don't know how old. We're kind of on a journey here of weeding through this. We'll see where we end up.
A lot of people don't know that you and I grew up 15 minutes apart. Of course, the part of the country that we grew up in, I mean, we figured out a lot of good things to do with peanut butter. We had peanut butter and jelly, toasted peanut butter and jelly, peanut butter and banana. I mean, we did it all.
Peanut butter and marshmallow, just peanut butter and butter. Like sometimes that's all you got in life is bread and peanut butter. Peanut butter and Rice Krispies. You can make plenty of stuff with peanut butter. It's like having flour.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, he was no longer in the crib, that's for sure. But he had his own little car's bed. Again, if he wasn't sleeping, he was moving. Look at him, chunky little legs.
Again, it kind of looks like the world was his. You guys were just living in it.
The world is still his. We just got to find him.
The world is still his. We just got to find him. Okay.
Absolutely.
Just got to find him so that we can. I mean, if you look down here at the bottom at this picture right here, though, that's a portion of the lion.
Okay.
Because it was everywhere that he went. So
This seems odd.
he really was a Cars fan. And if you look, his T-shirt is a Buzz Lightyear.
What is he? Okay, another question I have right quick. Anybody in here that has been following this closely? So we knew that he had a phone. We know that they took a switch from his house. We know that he had a Wi-Fi only phone, but it seems to me he's on a computer to stream. So did he recently get a computer, or did he have a computer that was taken also? Does anybody know? This is it looks like to me that he's on a computer. So did he have a computer that was also taken? Or just the phone that had service on it? Because I'm really interested to know how many devices and things does he have. Sorry, guys, Bella needs assistance. PS4, yeah. I think it's always been on a phone that we've seen him stream before, right? Maybe he's borrowing somebody's laptop. I don't know. Okay, interesting side note.
So when he was younger, he was a big Cars fan because he had the Cars tippy cup, the Cars bed. I mean, that was a big thing for him, correct?
Yeah, he was a Disney kid, that's for sure.
Okay.
You know,
Yes, he did, Remy. Good call, Remy. Good memory.
Did he like any other Disney movies?
when you said name one. I mean, he did Cars, he did Buzz Lightyear, Monsters Inc.
The reason I mentioned that about the computers is I would love to know how many devices were actually seized when they went in and took electronics, and how many have been purchased after. I guess that's where I should have said that. I know that they took a gaming system, a Switch, and a phone, but I would like to know about all the other devices in the home and which ones Sebastian had access to and could have been on. That's what I'm asking.
So a lot of the more animated Disney movies, correct?
Yeah, as he got older, I'm a Star Wars fan, and he of course became a Star Wars fan as well. His mama, she's a Harry Potter fan, and you know, I'm a Space Wizard fan. And then at one point in time, she decided to ask him, you know, which is better, Harry Potter or Star Wars? And he had a hard time making a decision. So I told him, do you want a magical wand or do you want a lightsaber? And being the typical boy that he is, he was like, I will take the lightsaber. We are. So, you know.
You guys, the reason why I'm mentioning the devices is because you got to remember in the first couple days of this whole situation going on. Now, they were looking for an endangered runaway. Okay. So they would have taken whatever he gave them, right? They didn't really have reason to go beyond and like take every single thing. If he said he used this, this, and this, that's what they're going to take. If he tells them this phone only has service on Wi-Fi and he never touched it, chances are they weren't going to take that then. I wonder if there's more devices that I'm really curious if there's more devices. Personally, I'm really curious what all devices he has electronically that Sebastian could have had access to. And he might not even know because he was gone at work for 12 to 14 hours with drive time and stuff. I would really like to know how many electronic devices were in that home. because when they went to his house with him the first night he was missing, they took his phone. We know that. They took gaming systems. We know that. But what else is there, and what has been brought in since? Yeah, the laptop, a Chromebook from school.
Oh boy.
Blackmail pictures.
They took a Chromebook from school.
Some of these are obviously, these pictures are not in chronological order. Leave my retro 80s table and chairs out of it.
So do we have two Chromebooks? Do we have two Chromebooks? His school Chromebook and a Chromebook else? Why did I miss that? Huh.
Boy, Dad like this stuff. If I remember correctly, I believe that was, I want to say that was oatmeal. And he did not appreciate me taking a picture of him, as you can tell.
Yeah, he looks thrilled.
Oh, yeah. It reminds me of when I was married. That's the look I would get when I was in trouble.
Mal, I don't know if they run checks on all of them. I don't really know why they would be holding them personally. Again, I'm not law enforcement. So yes, two Chromebooks. Okay. Two sets of PS4s. Huh. Interesting. I don't know, Mal, on your question. I really don't know. I don't know what the purpose of them keeping them would be. If they're scanned and downloaded, I don't really know. I don't know how long it takes to pull all that stuff either.
Yeah, the thing about Daddy's watch. So
Steph, so I know from Chris and Katie, they did the phones. We've heard that. We know that they took his school computer, his Switch, I think from their house too, because he had one at each house. Gaming system. I'm not sure if he played on anything at their house or if it was taken of other people's. I'm not sure. I'm not sure how long that stuff was taken for from Chris and Katie's either. That I would really like to know.
gave it to him once, and needless to say, that was him showing me the last time I ever found my watch. Because after this, I never found it again.
That old dad wrapped around his finger, didn't he?
Yes, he does. He still does. I mean, yes, he did then. He does now. I mean, it's my mini-me. He's everything that makes me who I am. Another oh, he was in his bouncy at the house in his little onesie.
These are cute pictures and all. I mean, great pictures, beautiful pictures. I have no problem with him reminiscing, none of that. What I am really curious of is some of these other details and things.
He was a big boy.
Yes, I do know.
Yeah, he was a little chunk there, wasn't he?
Yeah, if you look at him now, you'd never known how chunky he was as a kid, as an infant.
We know that they scanned their phones like the first day and gave them back to him too. I'm just talking about total devices from both households because, you know, here's the thing. We got to weed between, we don't know what we're being told across the board from anybody, if it's true or not. Truthfully, we have no idea. So just kind of giving the benefit of the doubt here, but looking a little bit further, when this initially kicked off, it was an endangered runaway. So they would have taken what the parents said, you know, this is his stuff. This is what he had access to. I think now if law enforcement was to want to access anything else, they would have to find probable cause to do that potentially, in my opinion. And I don't know if there's any other devices that they haven't gone through, but I just keep thinking
Absolutely.
something isn't making sense.
Boys, like, I mean, there's a Mexican restaurant we go to here in Clarksville. They serve literally chicken burritos that are like this big. They're the whole size of the platter, and he'll eat a whole one. He'll eat all of it, and then he'll eat the chips, and then he'll be like, "Can we have dessert?" And I'm like, "Yeah, sure." Like, where I don't know where he puts it all. I know where I put it, you know, but I don't know where he puts it all.
We're going to give him credit that he looks chunky because he's got horizontal stripes on, right?
No.
This is so.
This was his first birthday.
I have to be honest with you. I think he might like a little bit of cake. I'm not sure. I don't know for a fact yet, but
Just a
I'd
little
have
bit.
to think that he thinks the cake looks good.
I mean, yeah. I mean, he's watching everybody else while he eating the cake.
I see that.
And there was no cake for nobody else.
This is so weird.
All him.
And just so the audience knows, Seth, when you
Trevor, do you know total what did he ever tell you every single device or thing that they took from his home? Just a question. If he ever told you, I would love to know, or even combined between the households, what all was taken.
and I talk about Sebastian, we don't talk about him in past tense ever, do we?
Nope. He's still
We're talking about past tense because these are old pictures, just so everybody knows. It's no disrespect to Sebastian or Seth. We're talking about then as was because these are
compared to now.
compared to now, correct.
I mean, he was 1 year old. This was 14 years ago, people.
If you don't talk about him in past tense, Tony, then why the fuck are you on TikTok? And why are your TikTok buddies making claims that he's no longer with us and he was harmed? And why did Seth, your client there, go on Nancy Grace and say that his feeling is that something happened? The only thing he said was he wants to buy a second phone, but he's had a second phone. He's had a second phone all this is fucking weird to me. And why are they continuing to put out a narrative that he's no longer with us and Katie harmed him, meanwhile saying we don't ever talk about him in past tense? That's bullshit, truck stop, Tony.
Absolutely.
It was his birthday. And yeah, he was definitely into cake. I still think he's into cake. But, you know, we got to find him so we can give him his next birthday cake. His last one, I believe, was an ice cream cake that I got him. I'm not really a fan of ice cream cake, but his birthday being in December, you know, he's 15. You know, take him out to dinner. Take him to the arcade. Let him go play go-karts.
Right, Callie? That's true.
1 day old.
Holy cow.
See, he hadn't even been breathing air, oxygen for 24 hours yet.
Trevor, it was Riley that was involved in the computer stuff. Ah, fuck, that makes a lot of sense now. Okay. I gotcha.
This is still in the hospital.
Yeah. Now I get it.
Yes, I was there when he came out, and I took him home.
I get it now.
How do you feel when you're looking at these pictures, Seth? Do you feel happy? Do you feel sad? Do you feel a bundle of emotions? Is it all the above?
It's all of the above.
Riley Lively is a TikTok creator who was involved with United Cajun Navy. She was part of the ones that made the report to Nashville PD about being threatened. She had linked up to United Cajun Navy. That's who that is Riley Lively. She's a TikToker. She's a true crime. She was somehow involved with Idaho 4 stuff, and she gets involved really deeply with a lot of this weird shit.
Well, plus it feels kind of like it was yesterday. It's like, where did the last 15 years go? Like, I remember when he was this. He was so small and itty bitty, and he just fit,
That makes sense.
in my arm. And now he's, almost as tall as I am.
No, revival, in my opinion, no, absolutely not. That's why
Where did all the time go?
Then, not to my knowledge.
Makes you want to tell the audience to hug their babies, doesn't it?
To my knowledge, the threats that were made and turned in was when they were trying to go on private property and they turned around in somebody's driveway and all this stuff ensued. I don't think the threats were ever credible either.
Man, take care of your kids. Hug them.
SG, I'm not
Tell them
sure.
you love them. Because you're not guaranteed tomorrow with them.
Did Betty fucking fall asleep?
Back to his favorite thing, cake.
Him, yeah. They
I
would.
think he was wearing more of it than he had actually eaten it. I'm just saying.
Not to my knowledge.
And he doesn't look in trouble either. He looks like that you guys were fine with it.
I was told that I wasn't allowed to smash his face in the cake. I was trying to give him all the cake.
Honestly, if this is how the interviews would have started off, there would have been none of this chaos and confusion. If this is how they would have maintained with just focus on Sebastian, there would have never been a problem.
I don't think he needs to. I think he looks like he got.
He did a pretty good job.
I think he did a really good job there.
Yeah. Yeah, he didn't need any help at all. I think he's got a couple spots right here around the nose. That are missing. I think the reason his mouth was open is that there was cake and icing stuck in his nose. He was just trying to.
Which interview, Erica? Was it on Queens? It could have been on one of those last ones. There's been. I'm going to wait to get that answer. I can't. All of this is so confusing. Duchess and I will be going back over her interviews, just so you guys are aware, with Chris and Katie, because I think a lot of us have seen the same pieces of those interviews over and over and over again, but we intend on going back through and looking at that in full perspective too, Duchess and I. So we will be doing that. He said it would go up and down mid-sentence and his voice would crack. Erica, do you remember which interview that was, though?
Breathe.
No, there's not.
We're bringing him home.
So this was on the way home from the hospital.
Yep.
Was on Duchess's interview?
Yes, it was. Nothing fit him because he was actually really small. He didn't get, feeding him the formula got him chunky. But
Queens.
he had to fill out.
We'll go back through.
I got another picture around here somewhere.
So these pictures are basically when they were living, when Katie would have been in the Navy. So far, what he's showing is in that time frame that he's talked about that Katie was in the Navy deployed.
He lived with a fat belly.
He's with Mama there, correct?
Yep.
He's adorable.
He's got piercing eyes.
Most definitely.
Without a doubt. I've watched his eyes change color many a times. You can see right here that these pretty much right now are still blue. When he looks at you, he looks through you, deep into
He's a spinning image of his mama.
your soul. Like, really?
He looks so much like Katie in this photo. So much like, and I'm not saying that to like disparage Seth in any way. He looks just like Katie in this photo to me.
Is that how we're going to play this game?
That's how he gets what he wants.
Yeah, pretty much.
He has a spinning.
He's like, see this pinky? You know you're supposed to be wrapped around it, right? Again, as you can tell by this shirt, he drools a lot when he was younger. I mean, literally, the kid drooled a lot.
I gotta tell you, you know, a lot of babies do. I asked my mom because she said the same thing, except my hair did not lay as flat as
Y'all, Nana's not drunk. Thank you. I remember the facial hair part of that.
your son's. It stuck up that she was so embarrassed she put a bonnet over my head. So
Georgia, I think, right? Was he born in Georgia or Kansas?
He decided to get the diapers. You see
Wow, is that what that is?
all of this up here? Yeah, he got into the stack of diapers.
And that's his lion over to the side, correct?
I love all you guys in the comment section. Teething, drooling. This is.
Yep, that's his lion. Then he had his little monkey rug.
What is Betty doing?
Oatmeal.
We got to speed this up.
That's adorable.
that smile. It's the smile.
Spoon didn't help, obviously.
He's so cute.
Oh, that is the end of that slideshow.
So Seth, of course,
Justice Equalizer and everybody else that became members. I've been seeing a few and I've missed them. Sorry, you guys. Thank you guys for becoming members. Welcome to the Cabana and Justice Equalizer. Thank you. And to the ones I missed, I'm so sorry. I will, at the end, I will catch everybody. Thank you again.
we all appreciate, Sebastian's Army appreciates you sharing those incredibly personal pictures with us.
Sebastian's Army. Okay. Again. All right. Why did we just see? Okay. I got to be real for a second here. Why are we not seeing pictures in the last 5 years? The last 10 years? Why? This doesn't. Again, I have no problem with him reminiscing, going through old photos, having a YouTube channel, none of that. What I have an issue with is how does this help find his son? Keeping his memory out there? Okay, but where's current photos? What about Sebastian in today's time? Something feels, I mean, of course, Sebastian's missing, but there's.
I definitely, personally, I appreciate everybody who came into this live with me. And I appreciate everybody in chat. And I will let you all know that I have been speaking with law enforcement.
Oh.
I've been speaking with Sumner County.
Okay.
They're giving me information.
Okay.
I didn't know who it was, but they called me about the body over in Hendersonville, and they called me about the body that they found in Nashville, so that I didn't have to wait too long. So they're keeping me informed of certain things that are going on.
Good.
I do call them. I do talk to them. I can drive, though limited. I plan on going over to Sumner County on Monday, so I can have a conversation with him on Monday.
Just so we're not
So that would have been this Monday. He was going to go have a conversation because this is from over the weekend.
ignoring the good people in the chat, are there any updates at this time that you can share with the audience or no?
I do know that there will be some searches. I believe on the 11th, we're setting things up for a search on the 11th at Rockland Park. We're going back out there with all the rain and everything that we've been having. We're wanting to make sure that we've gone over everything. We are still handing out flyers. We're still having flyers sent to people. If you
Old flyers like you gave to Betty, the ones that weren't even the correct flyers, the outdated information that United Cajun Navy left you that you didn't have to spend money on.
haven't got flyers yet, my apologies. It's a slow process at times. I did run out of flyers.
Yeah.
I will be picking more up next week, and I will be making sure that flyers get sent out to people.
And are you going to make sure that sounds so ridiculous, honestly. People can go print them off themselves. Really, like that's getting ridiculous. So he's going to waste money on postage to send outdated flyers to people. Make it make sense. Betty took a bunch of outdated flyers home and was going to mail them out to people. First of all, if y'all are brave enough to be sending these people your address, feel free. Have at it. Wouldn't be me. Of course, I don't even give a shit. They have all of my information. Yo, Terry Lynn, speaking of which, I would like to see a copy of what you were sent about me. That would be great. Thank you.
As for bracelets right now, I know people want to purchase bracelets. I don't have any more bracelets. I have to make another order. So there'll be a moment until they come in.
This just seems weird.
If you don't mind, I'll talk to you about that after.
All right.
So Seth, do we have anything else before I introduce our very special guest?
That would be done.
So guys, we have a very good friend, special guest with us tonight, Bullhorn Betty. And Betty.
We have a very special fucking guest. Man, she's been sitting there the whole fucking time. Did you forget and brought her up too early so we could watch her scowl the entire time? Like, she's been sitting there for 36 minutes and now she's just a very fucking good special guest. Like, oh yeah, she's something else, let me tell you. Sleeping on the concrete to get her rally on. I mean, hell yeah. What?
Hey, welcome. I want to extend a very sincere thank you on behalf of Seth and myself for all.
I'm going to point it out once again. Look at the green screen behind her. So she's using a green screen again in this live stream because she doesn't want anybody to know where she's at. But when she was in the hotel and all the fuckery kicked off, you notice she didn't have a green screen behind her because she wanted people to call in. They wanted the chaos, the fabricated drama and the chaos between Betty and other people. That was all hooping and hollering and getting everything going on, you know, down in Tennessee. Attention, you know, don't look over here, look over there kind of thing. Pay attention. She knows exactly what she's doing. She's using a green screen now, but sure as hell didn't in the hotel.
All you do for Seth and helping him find his son. That includes, but isn't limited to, the shoulder to lean on, the boots on the ground, the helping with the YouTube channel, the support in the community, the support out in the social media streets. You know, I can't thank you enough for giving him an additional sister through this time. So without further ado, you take the floor and talk to us about your trip to Hendersonville.
Truck stop Tony just called Betty Seth's sister. Sister from another mister. All right. All right.
Yeah, so I thought Hendersonville was enlightening.
Oh.
You know, I did find out some information for myself. We were able to post, you know, I posted just about half. He handed me a stack of flyers, but I posted about, I think it was about 200 of those
200 outdated flyers.
I think he gave me like close to 300. And so I have about 50 of those left with some bands. I'm going to be mailing those bands out. I haven't had a chance to with the new girl, but I thought it was pretty.
How is the puppy preventing you from mailing things out?
Successful, with a few hiccups,
Intentional hiccups?
Sure, sure.
So
What did you think about the community of Hendersonville? Was it your first time there?
it was my first time there. I was a little disappointed in the lack of signage. I have to be lack of anything to even represent Sebastian, even ribbons and bows and
What are you talking about? Seth's been out there every day looking for his son, hanging out flyers. Haven't you heard? That entire place should be peppered with flyers at this point in time.
just something. And I was a little disappointed that I didn't see more of an. I've been in smaller communities that had larger support, larger array of signage throughout a county. I didn't see that here. There was nothing like that here. So I think that was a little.
And that's not true either, because Terry Lynn, I have to give credit where credit is due. I don't care for Terry Lynn. She has been a bad actor in this entire whole thing. It is what it is. Now, do I think there's something really weird with Julia and her? Absolutely. Seth, absolutely. All of them. Stay the fuck away from us. Bad actors, chaos, all of it. But Terry Lynn, I will say, actually had yard signs made, according to what I know, with her own money. And she is out putting up current flyers. She has also been putting out those yard signs, and those can't be extremely cheap. So I'll give credit where credit is due. At least she's doing that. But
discouraging, but we posted the flyers. I hear the flyers, certain flyers have come down. So I'm hoping that people continue to put them up, because what I learned going into these communities is, just because, we may know it on social media, the people, maybe one or two houses may know about it. But what you find out is people down the road, people that don't watch the news or are really busy, they don't know about this. You have people literally living in a community right next to you that has never heard Sebastian Rogers' name. I guarantee it, because this is something I see in every single community. That's why it's so important to have the signage, to have things out there so people can see it and pay attention to it. And I feel like that was what was missing. So we did what we could do to correct the issue.
Right.
Why don't you do what you should do to correct the issue and take some of the money that was raised off of Sebastian being missing, Seth's Cash App, his GoFundMe. He didn't need that to reprieve his work, because he'd been donating PTO time. So that should cover his bills. But why not take some of that money and do billboards? You guys are free to do billboards. Anybody can do billboards. You don't have to wait for somebody else to do it. Anybody can do them. Why aren't they doing something like that? Why aren't they rallying the community, the local communities, to do a reward? That bothers me. I know that a lot of law enforcement say that rewards bring chaos and confusion, so I get that too. But at this point in time, why aren't they doing something to nationally get his face across? It seems like it's all drama.
And so after you did a little digging, when you and I spoke, you kind of acknowledged that you knew that there was signage there at one time. You knew there was, yard signs, there was telephone pole signs, there was all these things, and then they weren't there. And then you go flood the community with more signage, and then you're hearing now that here we go again. It's been taken down. I mean, just your thoughts. I mean, why is that?
Here you go again. They've been taken down.
I don't know who would take signs, missing person signs down for.
Oh, you fucking idiots. Stop it right now. It is not legal to post signs on utility poles. Does it happen? Yes. But it's what in the fuck? Okay, this is where I lose it.
For a 15-year-old boy, for any person, not just a kid, but for any person. This is something I really don't understand, because the child is missing. We need to find him. Why would anybody want to remove signs to put his face in front of people? That I will never understand. And again,
why would anybody want to put out old flyers?
this is across the
and why would you intentionally go pick places that you know it's not legal to hang them up, so you know that they're going to get removed? Oh wait, so then you can play this game that you put them up and somebody removed them because it's not legal to be putting them there. I mean, hey, make it make sense. Remy, from my understanding, Crime Stoppers does do rewards when it's a criminal case. I don't, and works with law enforcement. I don't know the parameters in each individual case or how that's set and which cases they offer rewards for and which ones they don't. I'm not sure how all of that works, but I think it has to be directly through law enforcement and potentially a criminal case. Don't quote me on that though.
I have never in my life heard people removing missing person signs or flyers before. I've just never experienced a situation.
And I've never heard of a fucking dumb blonde bimbo going intentionally hanging them in illegal spots so then they get taken down so you can use it for content and say, my signs are being taken down, even though I hung them up illegally, so of course they're going to be taken down.
Situation like that personally.
Well,
I've never heard of it.
The only thing I can equate that to, because I live in a small community here in Oklahoma. Every time I walk in Walmart, walk out of Walmart, you see the signs that are there in Walmart, the missing children signs.
Wow.
And I look at those.
Not to interrupt you, Tony.
Go ahead, buddy.
I know that I've been to places to put flyers up that I've been to before, and people in there, like, can I talk to your manager? Not to sound like a Karen, but I asked upper management before I put signs in the building to make sure that I have the okay. And
Sammy, well, I'm going to tell BJ what I have always told her. She can go fuck right off because the billboards that Duchess did absolutely are legit. 100%. Absolutely. Now I know that even Duchess went out to see these other ones and the way they had them set up with the time of day and stuff like that. They were only going a couple times. And I don't know all the ins and outs of that. I donated to them. That's all I know. But Duchess was extremely transparent. So for her to say that none of them have, yeah, she can shut the fuck up. Like typical. Shut the fuck up. She's so stupid. But now they're taking every opportunity with this clue stuff to try and make a bigger shit show.
I've had them sit there and be like, we just took his picture down. We took the last poster down, a week ago. And it's like, well, why? And they were like, somebody came in and said that he was found.
Yeah, there's parameters, right?
And it's like, I'm his dad. He hasn't been found. If he had been found, I sure wouldn't be out here posting pictures, and it's just, it's horrible what the links of some of these people who have no humanity left about them. This is a missing child, whether it's my child or somebody else's child. To sit there and walk in and be like, oh, they found him, you should take the sign down. Yeah, you didn't go in and take it down, but you went in and gave false information to somebody and they took the sign down. Because of course, if they found him, why would we need signs up?
Where's the proof of that ever happening? We've heard them use that as an excuse, but I've never seen proof of anybody going in and saying that. We've heard that same rumor from other people on this side of the street too, but there's been no proof of that even happening.
But he hasn't been found and they're spreading false information. And the fact is that it goes on in the real world as just like it does in social media. And it's really a lack of human.
Seth, I could tell when I saw Betty's face that that's the first time she had heard that too. When you get to thinking about why a good person would take down a sign, that's really the only explanation is that they're being told that the child is found. And I got to tell you, that's a new one to me, and that's really odd. Thoughts on that, Betty?
Well, I'd like to know, who would do that? It seems like somebody that has a dog in the fight. I mean, why would anybody do that?
Why are they continuing to spin these narratives like this? If you want Sebastian found home, stick to the facts, stick to that, and move on. This pisses me off.
Just preemptively go up to see a sign and say, hey, he's been found and we're going to take it down. I mean, it just, who would do that? Like, I don't understand why anybody would not want a missing person flyer up for somebody that's missing.
Because all three on this panel, and not to take it political, but all three of these have very, very, very similar alignments with their political leanings. That's why Tony knew who BHB and JLR were. I'm almost assuming that's might be why Seth knew who some of these people were because of the extremist propaganda pushing and the rhetoric that they spread, JLR and BHB. I think that's how they knew of them because They followed them through their political shenanigans and the border coverage of JLR for quite some time. I've heard those out of their own mouths.
Well, and I know on your show, you talked a little bit, just to shift gears a little bit, you talked about some of the areas of interest. Don't want you to share anything you haven't already shared, but I know after kind of wrapping your brain around the area, making a few drives here and there, that you've got some areas that you really think are kind of hot spots. Can you discuss that?
I'll discuss them vaguely, but obviously the three communities are Hendersonville, Gallatin, which is basically Sumner County, but there's very specific areas there. There are a couple things over in White House that I'd like to look at, but I think we have some gaps that we just need to resolve. And I think that looking at this with a different approach may come up with something.
Right.
Right now we know that the area around Ground Zero, which is Sebastian's home, his primary home with Katie and Chris, has been thoroughly searched. At least the 5-mile radius has been searched, researched, oversearched. So that's not the place that I think we would be looking at. We're also having people, reaching out to autistic.
Who is Seth talking to? Who is he talking to right there?
Centers. We're getting flyers into Alaska because people were concerned about
Jesus,
Alaska. Although that's not going to be an area that I can search, it's still something that we can infuse with some information to see if there's any type of leads out of that area. So as far as search areas, I really think it needs to be the three places. I mean, he was in Hendersonville, so that should be a given. There's family in Gallatin, that should be a given. And of course, there is a route. So
what about Clarksville? Has anybody searched Clarksville, where Seth lives? What about that? Why is that off the table?
That has to be looked at.
Right. Well, you made an interesting comment the other day to me when we were talking about this protocol for missing persons, missing children. Can you explain that?
Yes. So it's the National Center of Missing and Exploited Children. They are basically the house that, they have built into most of the statutes around the country, them being the clearinghouse for missing persons. So how it works is law enforcement has to meet the Amber Alert. So law enforcement has to meet some certain criteria, but the nonprofit that deals with it is the National Center of Missing and Exploited Children. And so they put all your Amber Alerts up there and they monitor those. Well, they also do a lot more than just that. They train law enforcement. They give clear directives on how, what the proper protocol should be. It's obviously not something that is written in stone or something that is, they have to do by statute. Some people have adopted it by statute. Some states have not. And so they basically state, because you don't know the situation that's going on when there's an initial missing person, you should always, even if you feel like it's a runaway, you should always, always, always treat the area as a crime scene.
Lord, why is she doing this, Betty? Why are you trying to act like she's... Oh, brother, this is right. Cash, thank you for that. This is frustrating.
We heard that there was people in the house. We've heard that there's not forensic testing. One of the protocols is you go into the house, you secure the bedroom, and you get the necessary paperwork signed up front by the owners, which at this point would be Katie. She was the one that was there when law enforcement got there. And that gives them the right to search that property.
And they were given the right to search the property. Seth was there. Seth knows. Seth can tell you all that because he was there. Ask Seth what number he was on the scene. I would love to know the answer. Who was there before Seth arrived? I would love to know the answer. Commenters, I know what you've been told, but I would love to know. Seth, who was there when you got there besides law enforcement and Katie?
Search that bedroom. And at that point, when they secure that paperwork, they should be immediately doing forensic testing. Not necessarily immediately, if it doesn't warrant it, but we know that
she doesn't even know what she's talking
about. The DA was out there within 72 hours. We know that there was a major change in this case that took this case 180 degrees within the first 3 days. We know that law enforcement scaled back the searches and started looking at this as an investigation by day 8. So even if it wasn't done initially, at those points, That's when that should have been done. But within 3 months is everything I'm reading is when you should have your forensics collected. You're not getting that here. So
how do you know that? How do you know that they have not collected forensics? And plus, if there was nothing, oh, this is annoying.
So we're learning.
So she knows law enforcement's job better than they do. Okay, got it.
Learning that there may not be any forensics at all of that house yet. And I just can't imagine 5 months later when this child put his head in a bed inside that home and he's not there, how we don't have at least forensics for that room. There's probable cause to get forensics for that room at minimum, maybe not the whole house, but definitely that bedroom.
Seth?
They wouldn't even needed probable cause. They had full permission to do entire searches. That's the thing. They wouldn't have needed probable cause. They had free access to searching. We've heard about all of the dogs that have been in and out. We've heard. I know what we've heard. I know what we've heard, but I would love Seth to answer that actually straight out. Because, Sammy, the answer isn't what you think it is.
Can you confirm or deny that's been done? Do you know?
I do know that I was there at that house every day for the first 3 days.
Yeah.
Did not stay the night there.
You went home every
Drove
day.
all the way back to Clarksville.
Yep, you sure did.
Would take a different route. Every time that I left here and went there, I would take a different route because I'm looking for my son. But they had dogs in there, but I never once saw them come in with any type of forensic people.
And Betty,
The initial day, there was a bunch of people in the house.
So what are they expecting? Because they didn't spray it, they didn't put a little yellow sign around it, then no, he wasn't there all the time. He went home in the evenings. He was gone during the day. He didn't sit there the entire time. Come on now. We've heard about him going down to the command center and getting kicked out. He was in his truck when Chris pulled into the neighborhood. He wasn't even in the house. So he doesn't have a clue what was actually going on because he wasn't involved 24/7 with it. This is what I'm trying to get. Like, they want a whole CSI scene going on. Meanwhile, law enforcement was there when Seth got there. He doesn't know necessarily if they had already done that. They also had full permission. We've heard that. They've allowed them to get into everything that they needed to. We've heard how they searched his bedroom. Seth has said by the time he got there, they had already gone through his room. A week later, if you go back to the Terry Lynn interview, you hear him say that they found an ATM that Sebastian had built that had his money in that ATM a week later. So obviously multiple searches had gone on and he wasn't even there within those first 3 days. He was in and out.
Detectives, law enforcement, but I didn't see anybody, cordon offing anything to make sure nobody could go in there, dusting for fingerprints to see if there was other fingerprints.
That's another thing that's in that National Center for Missing and Exploited directive is the fingerprinting of the room. I found at the front door where they think Sebastian went out of, they didn't even fingerprint,
If I'm correct, the protocol that she's talking about is outdated. I'm not sure exactly which protocol at the moment that she's talking about, but I think some of that is outdated.
There's just things here that I feel like, I don't want to say that the stuff is lost. I don't think it is, but they've got to get in there and get some of this stuff done. And I don't understand what is taking them so long. I can't for the life of me figure this out.
Now, Betty, would this be, for the audience, is this where the luminol comes into play and things of that nature?
Yeah, they've been using a new product called Blue Star as opposed to luminol. But either way, it's basically the same thing. They've got to spray. You've got to black out the windows. It's a noticeable process. Like they put almost like these black trash bags over the windows. They have to have it pitch black dark inside for some of this stuff to fluoresce. Some of it's faint. So the darker it is, the better they can see. And that's why they do what they do. It also helps identify, like amino black helps identify any type of latent stuff that you can't really see.
She has watched one too many CSI videos.
Footprints and other types of stuff that kind of, none of that has been done. And then we hear that Katie has cleaned the house. Some of that forensic stuff could have been removed from that cleaning.
So she cleaned the house. Wait, what? So we've gone from the house is always neat and tidy and organized to now she cleaned the house. When did she clean the house? When did she clean the house?
Right.
So I just got a problem, seeing these cases and knowing how important forensics are in these cases. Not getting them done up front is, to me, it doesn't feel like every stone's being turned over. Is all I'm saying.
Great.
Right. So what else, Betty? Do you have anything else?
Well, I think the only thing right now that's anything else for me is just getting everybody refocused on the real purpose of why we're all here. At the end of the day, Seth was showing a child, a child in his infant form. I mean, this is a human being that has been missing for a significant amount of time. And I really hope people take that and internalize it, because this family does need help. This child still needs to be brought home. And there's a lot of stuff going on in these cases on the internet that doesn't need to be going on. For example, the constant attacks. Is it impossible for people not to speak about Sebastian without attacking somebody? This is a 15-year-old boy that disappeared.
Shut the motherfuck up, Betty. Shut up right there. Because all you have done is attack Chris and Katie and Chris's parents. That's all you fucking done from jump in this case. That's all you have done. So what? That's all you have done. Seth's behavior is fucking strange as fuck. None of it makes sense why he's acting the way he is and doing the things he's doing. There's no evidence to prove that any of them are involved in Sebastian's disappearance, factually speaking, but you sure as fuck have attacked the ever-loving shit out of that family. From fucking jump. You harassed them in the middle of the fucking night. Creeping around out there. Fuck, oh dear.
I didn't do it. Tony didn't do it. Seth didn't do it. This child is missing.
Huh. You're part of the problem, major problem. Why, if Seth is trying to find his son, why has he done all of the chaos and purposely involved himself with the worst of the worst? Think about that. There are some reputable true crime creators, some amazing with big channels, huge ones, Judy Ron. For one, who is extremely helpful to parents with missing children because he's got the expertise, the knowledge, and partners with EchoSearch. Why wouldn't Seth go there? Why did he specifically call JLR? I need you to come film me for some B-roll footage.
Attacking people that are out looking and trying to make a difference and trying to help, I just don't feel it's a great path forward.
Not
One
one.
of the things that kind of aggravate me on my end is that, I work in law enforcement.
No, you don't. No, you don't. Stop. Stop fucking now. Stop. You are a correctional officer, you jackass. You do not work in law enforcement. You have that title because of freaking that county and the way they name things. You are not a deputy goddamn sheriff. And how embarrassing that you continue to say you work in law enforcement while continuing to shit on law enforcement. What a shame you are behind that badge. What a shame you are to that uniform. You are a horrible representation of law enforcement. No, you're a correctional officer, sir.
And I'm the type of person that I would take 100 inmates walking across the field,
Oh, shit.
looking for, any type of evidence or whatnot. Whether I like them or not, they have a purpose.
We don't give a fuck about your likes and dislikes, sir, respectfully. This ain't about you. This should have been about Sebastian. All of this should have been about Sebastian. And it really fucking pisses me off that so many people have played games in this entire thing for months on end. I said it like fucking 6 weeks ago at this point in time, that it was turning into Georgia. And sure as shit, one by one, it just got worse and worse, and bad actor and deflection and games being played.
And while there are some of these people out here on the internet that are sitting there holding their shows, doing their clickbait, which I know.
By the way, you didn't have a problem with any of that clickbait when you were going on all those shows of Pascal's, T-Rev757, Brittany J, BHB, all the clickbait. You want to talk about the clickbait, Seth? That's your team. That's your buddies. That's all you, buddy. That's every bit of you, my friend. You forget the small little whiteboard over here. Let me refresh everybody's memory. This is Seth's team. This is all of the people that Seth has been aligned with. Seth's team. Why are none of those people around anymore besides a few? Why? I wonder.
They're probably going to have this right after we end this live. They're going to be all over it. They're going to be throwing as much shade as they can at me. That's fine. It's hot outside. It doesn't bother me. I mean,
But it shouldn't be that way, is my point.
My son shouldn't be missing.
That's true.
There's a lot of things in this world that are wrong. That are just wrong. Human trafficking is wrong.
Let's talk about that, Seth Rogers. Let's fucking talk about human trafficking. Mr. She was 12 and I was 10 years older. Do you know where grooming starts? It starts in the home. You know where most trafficking happens? In the home. Ooh, Lord bless it.
No. Doing things to children are wrong. People being just mean and hateful is wrong.
What does a 22-year-old have anything in common with a 12-year-old? I'll wait.
Nobody will understand where I'm coming from.
No, sure won't.
When I sit there and I am upset with his mother and that whole family, it's because I don't see them doing anything.
Meanwhile, you were out with Chris searching. Meanwhile, you know that they reached out to you and asked you to work with them and do an interview, and you refuse to communicate. Meanwhile, you can't control them, so you don't want to even give them credit for the things that they've been doing. That's the truth, right? Because you have no control over Katie anymore, and that really pisses you off, right?
When I sat there and I told people to kick rocks, only I used a particular other phrase that there were memes about. I told people to F off.
Mm-hmm.
Because I will work with whoever I can to try to bring and find my son and bring him home. Because he's all that matters to me.
Really? So then when an olive branch was reached out to you, when Chris saw you at the vigil and pulled in and you guys were going to work together, and then you took the very next day the opportunity to go on Peter Hyatt's and, shame Katie once again. Exactly how?
And we're going to have people out here throwing shade at me.
You're fucking
I don't like the way he sounds now. I don't like this. I don't like that. Well, I don't like you.
I don't have to fucking like anything about you. I think you are an absolute disgrace, period, point blank. But for Sebastian's sake, I hope you stop the bullshit and focus on your son at some point in time, because this isn't about you. It should have been about Sebastian only, and you've turned it into the Seth fucking Rogers show.
But if you get your ass up from behind the fucking computer, it's put out some flyers, man. That's the bare minimum. While you're sitting there throwing,
maybe what we could do.
House. Understand that I'm not throwing rocks because I'm out there. I've put out flyers. I'm literally going to go pick up more and hand out more flyers. I'm running out of supplies, not because I don't have it. It's because
there's the grift. I'm running out of supplies. So how many supplies could one buy with over $50,000? In my opinion, that's probably over 50, because the Cash App has been the thing that's been promoted, because when the GoFundMe started getting a lot of heat, they shut that down real fucking fast. So when the tide started shifting and people started seeing what Seth was doing and all the different excuses and the turns and the spins of the stories of what he needed the money for, I thought he had spent all the money on gas and supplies. Shouldn't he have a ton of flyers? Meanwhile, he gave Betty part of the flyers that the United Cajun Navy left. So now I guess this is the big, I need more money for more supplies. Like how much? I have
to reorder it. It means I'm going through my supplies.
Right.
All right.
And you handed me flyers and other stuff. I still have the bands. I'm going to be sending out with the flyers. I haven't had a chance to do it since I've been back, which kind of sucks, but I will be getting it out when I return here in 2 days. I'll be leaving tomorrow and then I'll be returning here by Wednesday.
I mean, my sister sent me pictures yesterday.
Those bracelets are extremely cheap. those bracelets are extreme. Those little rubber bracelet things are extremely. You can get like 500 of them for $50.
And and Friday. Well, that was yesterday, right? Yeah, Friday. She sent me pictures of she had to make 2 trips to the post office because she had taken a whole bunch of envelopes with bracelets, flyers, and everything. She came up here and I gave her some, and and she's sending them out to people. And then she turned around and she sent me another picture. She was like, I went to the post office, came back, and she had 50 more people that reached out to her for flyers. So she turned around, packed more flyers into envelopes along with bracelets, and sent them out. People.
No, you can get those little plastic rubber bracelets. Yeah, you can get hundreds of them for extremely cheap. No, snowflakes, please. No, they're not that expensive. I don't, maybe different company, but no, you can order them for very cheap. Yeah.
People are doing what they can, but just sitting behind your computer, not doing anything. Come on, can't you be better than that?
Oh,
I mean, every day I wake up and I just want to be better for my son.
Well, Seth, and I think the context too, it really taken out of context. That aggressive statement you made was simply you in your way trying to say that you were willing to do anything it took to help find your son. And if people didn't understand that, they could take a hike. I mean, it was a bigger context than just the 2 words, correct?
It was there. I mean, there was
yes.
The person that shared that made it the first thing that they shared.
Mm-hmm.
It was actually at the very end after dealing with everything that I had dealt with. The vigil, emotions were high.
He's throwing Justin on TikTok under the bus here again. That Justin on TikTok posted these out of order. Sir, I have a feeling you asked Justin on TikTok to post things the way they were posted. I have a feeling you were directing the camera about what you wanted to be seen and when. I have a feeling Justin on TikTok could correct some of this.
Chris showing up twice in one day at the school, and it's like, dude, you couldn't even say this the first time you showed up. Why do you got to show up the second time and not actually stay for the vigil? That kind of hurt. Like, you want to talk about he's your stepson, but yet you don't want to show up for the vigil, and then you want to sit there and tell me vigils are for for remembering the dead. No, that's
here we go, throwing shade.
Memorial, dumbass.
And then not only that, but there's all types of
crazy thing is he showed up to have a discussion with you. You guys smoothed things over. You made this big production that you're going to be working together, and then took the very next opportunity to shade them again. So tell me again, who's the one saving face for the camera, Seth? Who's the one doing the show, Seth?
Vigils, and it was a prayer vigil. It's prayer for
his
safe
return, and ask for God to enlighten.
And I'm sorry, but I don't blame them at all for not showing up, because all they were was content for your YouTuber buddies that you invited to come live stream. You asked people to live stream at vigils for Sebastian. Make that make sense. Why'd you have it moved from the church? Oh, wait, because the church wasn't going to allow your live streaming? And you wanted to make sure it was made into content, right? Make sure you get your good angles, right, Seth? Fuck.
Us and to bring what is done in the dark to the light. And we were all there in one purpose. We were all there to ask God to bring Sebastian home. Show us where he is. To make sure that he's safe.
There ain't nothing worse than a fucking slimy, grimy piece of shit using religion to hide his misdeeds. I'm sorry, sir. When's the last time you were actually in a church? Why did we turn the Trage Evangelist on? Oh, that's right. Tony was your spiritual advisor.
Make sure that he's being protected by his angels. I am not there to protect him. I am asking God to protect him.
And that's what we should do. And everybody that's in the chat, why don't we put some prayer hands, some green hearts up? And
I thank everybody in chat. I thank you for coming in this live stream. My apologies that I don't have more information. And there will be a day that I start this, and I'm going to have my son standing right next to me and be like, it's paid off because he's home.
Yeah.
And keep him out.
I think it's smart.
Place.
Yeah, and I think it's smart that you showing his baby photos, letting people know that, he is a child. He's a child that's loved, that, you want him to come home. People need to know that he's human. I feel like some people on social media sometimes feel, it's just it's just something on TV or something on a screen.
Oh, wait. You, the person who has been encouraging people to look for pieces and calling this child defective, have the audacity to say that other people look at him like he's not real. Are you fucking kidding me? Shut up, Betty.
But this really is a human being that was loved. And it's a huge loss with him out of your life right now. You're grieving a lot. You want your son
Oh, and here she goes talking about past tense.
Here. So we need to be working together to try to find and locate him. He's somewhere
with you.
Somewhere
He's
we gotta find him. There is nothing but find Sebastian.
Right.
Are they going to address any of his pretend jacking off?
So what I think we want to do, just so the audience understands, we are going to be going through all of the questions as a team.
Oh.
We haven't settled on the time that the show will be each week. We will work on that. We will get that out. I think, Seth, correct me if I'm wrong, we're working on having the show probably not on a weekend, but the same day and time each week. Is that correct?
It won't be the same time and day because once I go back to work, which I'm waiting.
It's going to be like fucking Jeopardy. Alex, 500 for the next lie.
I've got doctor's appointments still. I have to be cleared by the doctor before I can go back to work. But when I do go back to work, I don't have the same days off every week. My schedule is a 2-week schedule.
Okay.
So it's like if I'm off on Wednesday one week, I am not off Wednesday the following week.
So we're going to work to do a once a week type show or once every 2 weeks type.
When's he going back to work?
Situation once we figure that out, correct?
Yeah.
I thought he was on short-term disability.
I want to keep everybody informed with any information that I'm allowed to share. I want people to get it from the horse's mouth. I don't want people getting false information from
you,
people that don't have a stake in this. I have a stake in this. This is my son. If I'm not going to fight for him, who is?
Maybe you should go watch David's channel, David Robinson, and see how professional he is for advocating for his child. Maybe you should go take some hints because David Robinson is a class act across the board. And by the way, Daniel's still missing. So there's that. Maybe you should go take some hints and watch how people truly advocate for their missing loved ones.
Absolutely. So what we'll do is we'll work together. Can't tell you guys in the audience how eternally grateful we are on behalf of Seth and Betty and myself, especially Betty. You've got a huge group of your supporters in here. We can't tell those folks how much we appreciate them as well. Appreciate everybody's kindness in the chat, everybody's support in the chat, and let's just remember that this is about Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers, 15 years old. If you do have any information, 1-800-TBI-FIND. Let's keep that in mind. And
Hey, I got to give Tony credit. At least they plugged the actual tip line, not their own fabricated tip lines. I'll give them that for once. Call law enforcement. If anybody has seen Sebastian, has any information in regards to Sebastian being missing, please call Sumner County or TBI. That's it. Do not call these other tip lines. Do not email these creators. Law enforcement is the only person that should be taking tips at all.
Let's get refocused as a group, as Sebastian's army, and let's bring this child home to his father.
This is gross.
Amen. Amen. And I just want to give a big shout out to all the mods out there as well. You guys did an amazing job tonight.
Oh, Betty's little coffee beans.
You guys allowed 1,700 people to hear a message from Sebastian's father. And
I mean, it's really horrible.
Natalie, I heard that on TikTok, and I still try to remember, I still think I was losing it, but yes, that's what he said, but it can't be possible because I look at him. I don't know.
I get a text message from you all like 2 hours before the show starts going, hey, you got to get mods in because we already got fake people in chat running their keyboard warriors, with their little false information and everything already in chat. And I'm like, the show hasn't even started yet, though.
Right.
I'm like, okay. And then I go look, and I'm like, oh, wow, look at all this. I mean, if they were to put in a third of the effort they've been doing to make a new account to go hand out flyers,
Amen.
do something constructive.
Positive.
Absolutely.
If you're going to complain about something, come up with some solutions. That's
My
what I'm
dad
saying.
always told me if there's.
Oh, I'm going to complain all the fucking time. Absolutely, because this is disgusting, Betty, and you know it. You know exactly what you're fucking doing, Betty.
You got a problem with something, you got to be willing to be part of it to change it.
Yep.
Yeah. Be a part of the solution, not the problem.
Well, I just want to thank you both, so much. Seth, it's probably time for you to go take some of your ibuprofen and go rest. He needs to rest. You did an amazing job, Seth. Just, a few days after surgery. I was wondering if this was going to even go.
I want you to look at this handfold right there. Now tell me, picture that picture that Betty's been showing you guys, that she's been shoving down your throats, about that bruise on Sebastian's throat. And I want you to look at the hand around his own neck right now. Remember how little Katie's hands are, if you've seen them, because they've sure as hell gone over him over and over again. Now I want you to look at Seth's hand and the placement on his neck. Then go look at that picture that Betty's been pushing down everybody's throats, and you tell me what you see. And you also heard that he had Sebastian on his weekend, the 16th, 17th, and 18th. I want you to remember what this looks like right here. Because we know for a fact, according to divorce records, their own stories, Gabby, that there's a tendency of putting hands around necks. I want you to go look at that and then come back and tell me what you think. Because I'm sorry, I will never overlook anybody harming a child. I don't give a shit who it was that did it. When we find out, somebody's going to have hell to pay, because Sebastian didn't deserve any of the shit that was dealt to him in this life. And he doesn't deserve it continued.
Go forward, because I'm like, he's having surgery Tuesday. Are we still on for Saturday? Are we sure we really want to? And he wants to talk about his son.
Hey, I wanted to take flyers up to the Ludacris concert on the 4th of July.
Yeah.
All right. Surgery is not going to stop me.
Exactly, Cash.
I won't accept defeat. My son deserves everything that I can give him, and then some.
Amen.
Well, Seth, brother, you got a lot of love here. We love you. Sebastian's Army loves you. And do you want to close us out and tell everybody goodbye?
I want to thank everybody, and this is not goodbye. This is just, I will see you later.
Amen.
Right? Telling people goodbye. You do that at a funeral.
Betty, stop the fake Christian shit, by the way, too. You told us all the other day you would stop going to church because you were just getting down with it.
Absolutely.
Thank you, everybody. I appreciate it. Sebastian's Army. We will find you.
God bless.
God bless you guys. Have a great evening.
Thank you.
Oh. Ooh. What do you guys think about this? I have no problem with him having a channel, truthfully, and him sharing memories of Sebastian. But that end of that with Betty and Tony, two of the biggest clowns that have latched onto this case, ridiculous. Watching Betty, talk about the bruising on that photo, which it's definitely bruising. I will give her that. At first, I thought she was full of shit. No, it's definitely. But look at his hands. Go look at that stuff. Napa Valley girl. I have no proof that he did anything in his disappearance. But that photo, and knowing that he had Sebastian when that picture was taken, we know that. We know that he had a tendency of grabbing him by that. I just got some major issues here. And again, at the end of the day, Sebastian is still missing. And I don't even know how to come back from this. Like, how do we get people? I don't know. Sebastian's been lost in his own story because his dad has to have control over the whole entire thing. I can't wait till he falls out with BJ and Betty, because it's coming. We all know it is. Every single person on this whole freaking list has been used and released. Oh, yeah. And there was intent behind who was chosen in the beginning of this. Like, you can't overlook that. Do you guys want to go back over the timeline? Like, do you want to go back over and use the whiteboard and write everything? I don't know why you'd associate yourself with these people as a parent of a missing child. What are you gaining from this? I'd never, right, TT? Like, how do you even pick the very worst of the worst too, intentionally? If you guys would like to go back over the timeline, we can do that. And lay everything, like I said, Duchess and I intend on going through those interviews because there's things that I've forgotten. Like I said, I've seen the same clips over and over again. So Duchess and I are going to do that on our channels. Both of us will probably do part 1 here, part 2 there, whatever we do. We will be doing that. But I think it's important too to revisit who came in at what time and actually show you guys a visual of that. The calendars are available for the members. You guys have access to them. All of the red on the calendars, I've told you guys this, and I don't think people really paid attention to what I was saying or my thought process behind even doing that. I wanted people to hear it laid out from people that were actually there. And we got that. The reason why it's red is because they were all associated with Seth or JLR. Those people were all intentional chaos causers in the very beginning of this. Why all the distractions? Why all of the chaos, the confusion? Julia has, there is nothing important about her. Let me be very clear. There is nothing that she offers to this case, nothing that she has to do with anything with this case besides intentional distractions. She's not even a part of this case, truly. Chaos, yes. Noise, yes. But the creators who are now like turning and twisting things were a huge foundational portion of misinformation and narratives that were pushed from the jump. None of this is normal. Truly, it really isn't. Are you nuts? It does, but there's other questions. I still have questions. I've heard a lot of people talk about Chris saying, you know, this will be a case that will be studied for a long time to come. That's a little odd to me. It really is. It's odd to me. I don't know. We're going to go back and look at it, Duchess and I, and anybody else. Cole Creates Crystal, you could join us too. That would be great. And go through and like look at all of the things from that side too, because I don't want to overlook things on that side because Sebastian's still missing. And if we can bring awareness to Sebastian and things that we know are factual, unfortunately, we've got to kind of weed through because we're getting third-party information. Even what the parents tell us is we have to take with a grain of salt because we don't know who's being honest at the end of the day. Truly, we don't. Law enforcement, it's an open investigation. It's not a criminal investigation at this point in time, too. My only concern about this is where's Sebastian? Why are all the people causing chaos and confusion? Why is there so much deflection, distractions, all of this stuff? Why is that? I would also like to do a panel with some of my mods and give some of my mods a place to speak about their feelings about some of these things that have gone on in the communities, their perspectives on some of this stuff. So I will be reaching out to some of you, see if you guys want to join me on a panel too. We will try to get that done. Now, please bear with me. I got all of my school shopping done yesterday. The only thing we have to go get is shoes. So there's that. I'm going to take his face off there. So we are completely done school shopping besides shoes and haircuts, which we have to do this weekend. We have orientation Monday and then back to school on Wednesday. So their backpacks, all their pencil pouches, all their school supplies, their clothes, all of that stuff. That's what I did yesterday. School shopping. Today I had home visits, got that out of the way. Not another one for 90 days. I had 2 of them today, which is great. I love our team. But Sheila's like, nope. Yeah, we go back. Yeah. Where are the kids? Oh, wait, hold on. Donna. Oh, where are the kids? I thought you were like, how many? So many kids are missing. So many kids are missing. So many kids are missing. It's all shady stuff. Yep, for sure. Y'all, this is crazy. You do online school. See, yeah. The good thing is I just have the two. So back to school already. Actually, Darby, it's so because we live in Arizona, just so everybody knows, like everybody knows where I live anyways. Because it gets so hot here, it's like 100 and let me see what it is right now. Ooh, it's cooled off a little bit. Well, that's probably not right. 116. I would show you guys the thing, but I'm not going to dox my exact location. So it's 116 right now. It's so freaking mind-boggling hot, though. You go out there and you're like, your brain just fries. But the reason why they do that in Arizona is we do a hybrid schedule. So people who don't have air conditioning or are suffering from being unhoused or struggling financially to feed their kids, it gives them a place for the kids to go cool off in the schools because they keep them inside and they feed them. So it's a way that they can guarantee that the kids are fed and that they're cool. So, and that part of July is the hottest. That's the actual temperature, Jaguars. Let me tell you what the heat index is. We have an excessive heat warning, of course. Tomorrow it's supposed to be 113, 113, 113, 111, 106, 104, 104, 106, 106. The heat index feels like 119. It is a win-win, Citizen Sleuth, because it's too hot. Like our pool's too hot to go in. It's over 90 degrees. Oh, Heartland honey, congrats. That's amazing. I do kill scorpions. I do. And by the way, the cicadas are creepy as fuck. We get out in May, but we run, like we get long fall breaks. We get good break system, like in what we consider fall, which is basically like the end of summer. Our pool's a hot tub. Yeah. 94 in Charlotte. Ugh. Yuck. Yeah. It's so hot. It's so freaking hot. We got the misters going and it's like, you love the cicadas? I'll send them to you, Elizabeth. Yes, they do have some cooling shelters here. That is one thing, but it's miserably hot. And we have people, we've already had like 6 deaths from heat strokes already this year in the valley. It's wild. And unfortunately, Phoenix is a hub for a lot of runaways. It's also a hub for a lot of trafficking. It's a hub for a lot of homelessness because of the year-round temperatures, but the summer gets so brutally hot. Are you nuts? We have not had any monsoons yet. But are you nuts? Kyle keeps saying he's going to go buy those big blocks to cool it down. We have friends coming over the 20th, and we're going to go buy some of those big blocks to try and cool it down. It is so crazy hot. It is so crazy hot. Like you literally walk outside and your brain is just, and I suffer from POTS, which is postural orthostatic tachycardia syndrome. And I have a really weird subcategory of it. So I deal with dehydration. That's why you guys will always see me with like multiple drinks in hand. I guzzle hydration drinks all day long because it's just my body system. So I have a hard time with the heat as is, and it can be a little complicated because let me tell you, you could have just called me the hot steppa this weekend. I decided to walk from my little chair on the edge of the adult pool to the pool. I looked like I was doing some fancy footwork. All I was doing was trying to keep my skin from melting to the pavement. It was so fucking hot. It was so bad. I was like, Angel, I actually do better here than I thought I would. I'm struggling a lot this summer, but I do better in the lower elevations. My joints and stuff do a lot better. Your dad was born in Tempe. Yeah, it's freaking hot. It's hot for sure. All right, you guys. Yes, TT, it does. It really does. It makes people, it really fucks with your head, the heat this way, and not like, again, I'm so grateful, so thankful. We have a home. We have 2 brand new air conditioning units. Everybody's cool. They have food. Animals are cool. Kenzie takes care of the outside cats. They have food, water, everything. Our inside's bougie bitches. They're fine. I do kill scorpions. Yes, I do. But it's a lot. Yeah, I stay in a lot during this, but I go turn the misters on. You guys want to go with me? I'll show you guys the misters. Hold on. We'll go down there because I want to go smoke a cigarette anyway. So I'll take you guys down with me for a minute. I'm gonna shut you guys off though as I walk past the littles. The littles aren't so little anymore, you guys. They're almost as tall as me and they rub it in all the time. I mean, that doesn't take much, but yeah, it's very dry heat, but it is hot as fuck. Oh, thanks, TT. Thank you. All right, let me go down here. Hold on. You guys are almost as tall as me now, huh? Does that make you happy?
Yeah.
Huh. Does it make me mad? They're ignoring me. They're like, yeah. And hold on. The winters, we get some cooler weather here, but not very. It doesn't get cold. Hold on, I'll show you guys. Kyle, he's got to fix them. He's gonna make it so it's all in line, but we had to put misters out here. I'm trying to figure out how to get him to go across the top of the pool. But yeah, it's so hot, but you can see like it's on full blast. The hose, I don't know if you guys can really see it in here, but it's on full blast. And it just evaporates. Oh, cold case crystal. That's amazing. Oh, that's fun. That's so amazing. Gray one. Which group? Yeah, it's great. But it's still hot. Like it's so hot. Do you have misters to go? We need misters to go with the misters. And Dexter and Bella, like, they want to come out. Yeah, do not ever visit Arizona. Like, if you're coming to visit Arizona come in, well, I would advise October to June. October to June. Oh, great one. It's in my members. In the members group, you're a member. So just scroll down through the members post. I'll repost it when I'm off here too. So it's in the top for you guys. Is the breeze cool? No, it's Napa Valley girl. I tell Kyle, it's like, have you gone into the public restrooms that have the Dyson air dryers for your hands? And they're warm and they're super powerful. When the wind blows here, it feels like you just are standing in those Dyson blow dryers. It is so bad. Come in February. Perfect timing. Perfect freaking timing. We usually go to the races in February. Heck yeah. March is a good time too. See, I couldn't deal with the humidity. I couldn't breathe. There's no way. I'll take the dry heat over the humidity any day. It's so freaking hot though. Yes. Yep. Nicole, I did. Yep. Oh, Thor, that's funny. You love Phoenix? Yeah. A lot of people are getting this excessive heat right now, though. Like, thank God we all have the opportunity of being home. Poor Kyle comes home from work because even though he's working inside, some of these are new construction homes, so they don't have the HVAC unit set up or air conditioning. In one of the homes, it's the super high end. the owners of the house went and bought a standalone air conditioner to put in that side of the house because he's working inside and it didn't have any air circulating whatsoever. And he goes outside to do all of his cutting and stuff like that for his tile. Holy shit, that poor guy gets home from work and he's just freaking exhausted. But the main thing is like, I have a hard time. We all have a hard time eating when it's this hot. It's something that just, it's the last thing. Like I get nauseated in the heat like this, and so does he. So he's got a huge cooler that we make sure he's got drinks and drinks and drinks and drinks and high protein stuff in it. I just feel bad for him though. I feel bad for anybody that works out in this weather. This is horrific heat. So just remember when we're out there enjoying our air conditioner and getting to stay inside. And I think about this about myself all the time. There's people that work outside in this all day long. It's crazy. Crazy. Yeah, Nicole, I can't stand it. I take a salt supplement too. But yeah, Lippy, same. It's the salt in the pickle juice that helps with dehydration. It plumps up. If you're struggling with dehydration or blood pooling, like if your lower legs are purplish grayish color, elevate your legs and add some additional salt. Not unless that's not medical advice. Do not do that if you have typical heart issues or cholesterol issues. Lauren, I bought him for his birthday one of those little air fans that goes around your neck. The little portable plug-in ones that you charge and then put it on your neck. I bought him one of those. She's at a cemetery saying she is looking for Sebastian. Why does that not shock me? Of course she is. Of course she is. Epsom salt, yes. Cool towels work great. I'll invest in some. Is an iodized drink oddly named? Those little things don't last. You're told to up your salt intake. Yeah. People always look at me like I'm crazy when I tell them my salt intake. Oh, absolutely, Marcy. Yes. Yeah, heat exhaustion is real. The school even has like protocol for all of the different heat indexes and stuff like that with the school. Liquid IV. I prefer TT. Let me show you what I got. Hold on. Let me put this out and I'll take you guys on. I like their Propel ones. I do like those. I do like some of the liquid IV, but the one that I like the most is Squenchers. You can get it on Amazon. They make them in like packs for like backpackers and stuff. They also make tablets, but those to me have the best flavors. No, hell no leggings, Cash. You're lucky I have clothes on today. I was literally running around here and spandex, like the 3-inch spandex shorts that basically look like underwear and a bra yesterday. And when I'm talking about a bra, not like a real bra, like a sports bra, that's all I had on. My poor neighbors. I told somebody that if I ever go to jail, it's probably for indecent exposure of my fupa. I wish we could get rain. I wish we had some rain. TT, I will. Hold on. The Squenchers brand I love. But I'll show you the Propel ones I like because I have some of those still. I'm out of my Squenchers. The Squenchers ones are great. But I like these little... Hold on. Let me go find them. And I'm really picky when it comes to hydration drinks. So Squenchers, yeah. They're on Amazon. Squenchers is a good one. Hold on. I also like these Noon. These ones. Hold on. Telling you, this is serious business at my house. I spend a lot of money on this shit. Okay. So I have this one. Drip Drop. Liquid IV. These ones are good flavor. They're not terrible. The Drip Drop ones are pretty good. They're 35 calories in a stick. 3 carbs. This is another one I like. The Propel. The flavor is good of these. But I love the flavor of these. The Noon. Strawberry watermelon. But the Squenchers are my absolute favorite. And I'm out of those right now. I like the Drip Drop ones. That's the ones Kyle bought me the other day. Hey, Whiskey. Get on my weight. And I also love, hold on, let me show you. You guys see me drink these a lot. These aren't as good for hydration, but these are freaking amazing. The Body Armor Lights, the Peach Mango. Oh, they are so freaking good. TT, the Squenchers. Hold on, let me show you guys what I'm talking about with the Squenchers. I'll pull it up and share it with you guys because they are so freaking good. They actually make them in a freeze pop too. Okay, let me share this tab instead. Hold on. Okay. Making sure that that's there. This is what I'm talking about. See, they come in these little packs like this. You can get them on Amazon right here. You can get the freeze pops too, you guys. So if somebody's on like a liquid diet or after jaw surgery or something, Kenzie goes in for surgery in September. But if you guys have anything like that, they sell them. And I think even EBT might cover them on Amazon. But they're amazing. They make a bunch of different flavors, a bunch of different brands. They're really freaking good. You like Body Armor too? But these are my favorite. The Squenchers, they're so freaking good. Yes, sis. Yes, ma'am. Hold on. The boss is calling. What? Mute. Please. Hold on, you guys. I'm going to show you guys. Look it. Say hi. No, not. Let's not walk on my computer. She's like, bullshit. I'm walking right on it. Can you say hi? Oh, Dexter, we know you want to say hi. Can you say hi, friends? Whiskey. Whiskey. She's attacked. Dexter. You poor spoiled. She's attacking the computer. Okay, buddy. You can have some treats. Hold on. There's your whiskey camera. She's getting so big. Yeah. She's getting so cute. She's a mess though. She was trying to climb in. She did? Play with the wine. She's such a brat, man. She's such a brat. Hold on. There you go. There you go. Well, there she goes again. Hold on, let me show you guys. Let me give the cat treats and then I'll show you what we see. Hold on. Gotta give all of the zoo. Are you being bad, Whiskey? Her little cat tree. Watch what she does though. You're supposed to play with the ball, not my finger. She's a rodent. She's a mess all day. You can't walk through the house without getting attacked. That's all she does. Sit here and mess with everything and everybody all day long. You want to fight? Here's Buddy. She's such a brat, though. She thinks that cat tree is amazing, though. It's got 2 of these little. she wants to play. She's like, Mom, Grandma, whoever you are, you go eat your treats. Hi, Chubby. Okay, come here, Chubs. Oh. Then there's this one. She's like, no. Yes. She's like, get off me, Mom. Hi, Spaz. she entertains herself, though. She's like, she's the total mess. You'll hear crash and things are just flying all over. Stop being mean. That's their litter box. It's got a litter box underneath it, too. Come here. She's such a mess. There's Eclipse.
Could it be your PC?
Look, watch.
Like, do you have a second on the PC?
They just are ridiculous. She's gonna fall. She's gonna fall. You hear crashes all day long because she just rolls off stuff all day. You're a mess, huh? With all your little friends. She like runs the house. She's terrible. All right, y'all. Where's Luna? Luna. Oh, come here. Come here. Come here.
She's probably been saying bye for the last 10 minutes.
There's Luna.
Right, Mom?
Her belly is the prettiest thing in the world. There's Luna. There's Kiki. Whiskey fucks with everybody. Whiskey has no fear. Kiki's in the windowsill. Eclipse is up here. Whiskey's right there. Kiki, well, Luna's over here. Smush is in Kenzie's room. There's Luna again with her butt. Whiskey is just ridiculous, you guys. She is all day. All day. She's just a turd. She's definitely a bottle-fed baby. And the other cats just, they're so tolerant with her, though. I swear, I sit here and laugh all day long at these stupid cats. They just are dumb. Now she's in her little thing. Can you guys see her? She got closer to get Kiki's tail. That's why she went over there, because every time he moves his tail, she's trying to grab it. She's just a brat. They're so bad. They're so bad.
Oh, what's on Whiskey's back?
I don't know. A fuzzy. Quick, let me get it. She's just grabbing Kiki's tail. All right, here's the other bougie bitch. This is everybody's favorite.
You little tongs.
Hi. Thank you. Thank you. There's everybody's favorite. The smush. The smush. This is everybody's favorite. Huh? You're the sweetest.
Mute it real quick.
All right, y'all. I hope you guys all have a great rest of your afternoon. Yeah, over it. If our hose was cool, it would work. But the water coming out of the hose isn't even that much cooler. Like right now, even our shower it's so hot. It's just so hot. Nothing really cools it off much. I hope you guys have a great rest of your day today. I will probably be, tomorrow's Thursday. I probably won't be back tomorrow, maybe tomorrow evening, I will try to fit some live in. Oh, and let me go down this list right quick and thank everybody because I totally forgot to do it. Smush is huge, right? I know. Yeah. She's gotten so chubby. She is eating well. Okay. So let me go down this list right quick. If you guys are not here anymore, I'm sorry, but thank you so much. I know, Cash, did you hear her talking shit to me? She's like, she's probably still saying bye for like 10 minutes. Kenzie got flowers from a boy this week. Ooh. Yes, I do. Over it. Lauren, thank you for being a member for 7 months. Brianna, thank you again. Tomboy Charm, thank you for becoming a member. Scooter McBooters, thank you for being a member. Amber Maiden, thank you for being a member. Chico, thank you for being a member. Janice, thank you for being a member and the super chat. Nora, thank you for the super chat. Tonka Girl, welcome to the island. Carla, thank you again. Justice Equalizer, thank you again. Cash, thank you again. And Kimberly, thank you again. Thank you all for being members and being here for these conversations. I will see you guys. If not tomorrow evening, I will be back Friday. We'll go back through the timeline. Duchess and I will get together and figure out time frame to go back through those interviews. We're going to continue on, though. We're going to continue going through the old interviews, talking about things, looking at stuff, weeding through and figuring out what was a distraction versus what is factual, because that's the baseline of this story is important to get back to. And I don't even think we even know what that is. So see you all later. Bye. Oh, what did Terry Dean say? Hold on. Thank you once again to all of my mods. Oh, you guys are so sweet. The mods are so good about that. Don't forget to hit the like button. Mercedes Girl and Nana L. Okay, bye. Bye to you. Bye, y'all. Bye, everybody.